Antarctica, the southernmost and arguably the most mysterious continent on Earth, has a relatively short but compelling history of exploration. Unlike other continents, its extreme weather conditions and remoteness have historically made it inaccessible to humans. However, this very inaccessibility has lured intrepid explorers, each seeking to uncover the mysteries of this frozen landscape. The turn of the 20th century marked the beginning of what is commonly referred to as the heroic age of Antarctic exploration. This period saw various expeditions striving to reach the South Pole, a feat first achieved by Norwegian explorer Roald Amundsen and his team in December 1911. Yet, numerous accounts over the years suggest that Antarctica may not be as devoid of activity as one might assume. The mysterious flight of Admiral Richard E. Byrd. In 1947, the United States Navy's Rear Admiral Richard E. Byrd embarked on a direct flight to the North Pole. While some speculate that his plane merely crossed over the pole, others believe that it actually ventured into the Earth. According to Byrd's diary, he recounts his journey into the cavernous depths of the Earth's interior, where he traversed 1,700 miles across mountains, lakes, rivers, lush vegetation, and encountered various forms of wildlife. Richard Byrd, an American naval officer born in 1888, dedicated his career to exploration and conducting expeditions in uncharted territories. Primarily known for his expertise in polar exploration, Admiral Byrd acted as a navigator on various flights that ventured into the Arctic, North Pole, Antarctica, and South Pole. Notably, during his initial flight over the North Pole, Byrd asserted that he encountered a passage leading to Agartha, a fabled city believed to be located at the Earth's core. After graduating from the U.S. Naval Academy in 1912, Byrd was commissioned an ensign in the U.S. Navy. He learned flying at the U.S. Naval Air Station, Pensacola, Florida, and served in the Navy with distinction. After the war, he developed navigational methods and equipment for NC flying boats, one of which made the Navy's first transatlantic airplane flight in 1919. He also assisted with dirigibles built for transatlantic crossings. His polar career began in 1924, when he had command of a small naval aviation detachment with Commander D.B. Macmillan's Arctic expedition to western Greenland, based at Etah. Byrd, inspired by his experience of flying over sea ice and glaciers in western Greenland, was determined to fly over the North Pole. On May 9, 1926, Byrd, acting as the navigator, and Floyd Bennett as the pilot, claimed to have made the first airplane journey to the North Pole, flying from Kings Bay, Spitsbergen, Norway, and back. The flight lasted 15.5 hours, with the only issue being an oil leak from the starboard engine of their Fokker trimotor airplane. Their achievement led them to be honored with the U.S. Congressional Medal of Honor and hailed as national heroes. However, there was always some doubt surrounding whether they had truly reached the North Pole. Bernd Balchen, one of Byrd's early associates, even alleged that the flight to the North Pole was a hoax after Byrd's passing. In May 1927, Byrd provided navigational training and assisted Charles A. Lindbergh, an American aviator, in his solo transatlantic flight. Byrd was instrumental in preparing Lindbergh for the journey and ensuring he had access to a specially extended runway. Inspired by Lindbergh's feat, Byrd and 3 companions decided to attempt their own west-to-east flight across the Atlantic. During Byrd's initial exploration of Antarctica, from 1928 to 1930, an extensive and well-provisioned base called Little America was established on the Ross Ice Shelf near the Ross Sea. This expedition, which was the largest and most well-equipped at the time, embarked on flights over the Antarctic continent. They discovered the Rockefeller Mountains, a mountain range, and named the uncharted territory beyond it Marie Byrd Land after Byrd's wife. The most interesting story surrounding the Admiral is that he allegedly flew into the Earth. In 1947, Rear Admiral Richard E. Byrd, a member of the United States Navy, made a flight to the North Pole. There are speculations that rather than simply passing over the pole, his aircraft might have actually entered the inner Earth. According to entries in his diary, he describes his journey into the interior of the Earth, covering a distance of 1,700 miles over landscapes of mountains, lakes, rivers, green vegetation, and wildlife. In this journal, the story unfolds with the arrival of unknown aircrafts to greet the esteemed aviator. These flying machines were unfamiliar to him, indicating that he had encountered something completely new. They informed him that he had been permitted to enter Agartha, the renowned city located within the Earth's interior, due to his exemplary moral and ethical values. The decision was made by these beings to establish deeper connections with the external world, aiming to safeguard our planet to prevent its destruction along with their own civilization. Admiral Byrd and his crew were escorted by their guides in their aircraft back to civilization, their existence forever transformed. Admiral Byrd claimed that the North and South Poles are just two out of numerous entrances leading to the inner core of our planet. According to Admiral Byrd, the inner Earth is said to possess its own internal sun, a concept shared by previous scientists. Contrary to the conventional belief of concave poles, it is theorized that the Earth's poles are actually convex. This would suggest the existence of openings that ships and planes could potentially navigate through, whether floating or flying. Those who believe this story said that the findings of Admiral Byrd were covered by the American media, but it was quickly concealed by a secretive global plot orchestrated by our well-intentioned officials. Ray Palmer, the editor of the renowned publication Flying Saucer magazine, wrote an elaborate article about Admiral Byrd's findings. According to reports, the US government acquired, confiscated, or eradicated nearly all copies of the article and subsequently destroyed the printing press plates. To believe that such a cover-up could not be orchestrated is a display of naivety. The incident of an article discussing Admiral Byrd's discovery, published in National Geographic, experienced a remarkably similar occurrence. Following the publication, the US authorities diligently sought out and eliminated nearly all copies of that particular edition. This raises an intriguing question. If the account of Agartha was indeed unfounded, then why would the government feel such intense apprehension regarding the dissemination of this information? The mysterious, unidentified objects found embedded within the ice. The frozen wilderness of Antarctica, barren and largely unexplored, has long been the cradle of countless mysteries and speculations. Among the most intriguing of these enigmas is the alleged sightings and subsequent discoveries of unidentified objects embedded within its thick ice. Despite the inhospitable conditions, various reports over the years have indicated strange activities in this region. Witnesses, primarily composed of military personnel and scientific researchers stationed in the area, have reported unusual aerial phenomena, including glowing orbs, disc-like objects, and fast-moving lights that defy conventional explanations. These sightings, coupled with subsequent physical evidence such as inexplicable indentations in the ice and abnormal radiation readings, have sparked speculation about an advanced presence in Antarctica. However, these mysterious objects in Antarctica are not just about sightings. Reports of crashed objects frozen within the ice have also surfaced. One of the most famous incidents dates back to the 1960s, when an alleged satellite image depicted what appeared to be a metallic object, roughly 2 miles across, embedded in the ice of East Antarctica. Although the image's authenticity has been challenged, the object's size and shape spurred theories that it could be an advanced spacecraft. Critics argue that the harsh Antarctic conditions and the human mind's tendency to identify patterns, known as pareidolia, can make one mistake naturally occurring ice formations or meteorological phenomena for unidentified objects. However, the proponents of the theory claim that the object's advanced technology and the secrecy surrounding Antarctic operations suggest an advanced origin. Further fuel to these speculations was added in the late 20th century, when governments worldwide started showing increased interest in Antarctica. Several countries established research bases, and even the Vatican set up an observatory. This sudden interest in such a hostile region, along with classified expeditions like the United States Operation Highjump, has led to theories that these governments might be aware of mysterious activity in the area. The secrecy surrounding these expeditions, coupled with declassified FBI documents referring to recovered flying saucers, further intensified the debate. However, due to the extreme weather conditions and the Antarctic Treaty System, which limits military activity and prohibits mineral mining in Antarctica, independent verification of these claims is challenging, leaving these accounts as yet unconfirmed. Moreover, in recent years, the debate on the mysterious Antarctic objects has taken on a new dimension with the advent of melting ice. The melting polar ice caps could potentially expose these hidden objects, forcing governments to disclose information about these alleged visitors. This possibility has excited enthusiasts worldwide, who believe that this could finally provide indisputable proof of advanced life. Its harsh environment and relative isolation make it a seemingly unlikely location for unidentified object sightings. Yet, numerous accounts over the years suggest that the desolate skies above Antarctica may not be as devoid of activity as one might assume. During early research into the area, explorers and research teams reported sightings of unexplained luminous objects and strange, fast-moving lights in the sky, phenomena that couldn't be easily dismissed as mere meteorological events or optical illusions. During the mid-20th century, during the International Geophysical Year, an unprecedented international scientific effort focused on the polar regions, there were additional sightings. The most common descriptions were of glowing orbs or disc-shaped objects moving at incredible speeds and performing maneuvers that defied then-known laws of physics. These sightings, often corroborated by multiple witnesses and occasionally captured on film or radar, have been the subject of much speculation and debate. One particularly well-documented instance occurred during the British Antarctic survey of the late 1960s. An entire team reported a series of mysterious lights over their research station, describing them as glowing red objects hovering in the sky. While skeptics suggest that these sightings can be attributed to atmospheric phenomena like auroras or rare cloud formations, the consistent descriptions across disparate witness accounts suggest something potentially more complex at play. In more recent years, advances in satellite imagery have led to further speculation about possible activity in Antarctica. Images showing seemingly unnatural and anomalous structures or objects have sparked debates about the existence of secret bases or crashed aircrafts. However, definitive proof remains elusive, and these findings often face criticism due to image resolution issues. The veil of secrecy that shrouds operations in Antarctica, due to its strategic importance and the presence of various national research stations, has only added fuel to these speculations. As mentioned, classified missions, like the US's Operation High Jump in the late 1940s, are frequently cited in theories alleging government knowledge or even cooperation with crashed aircrafts. Despite this, the scientific community largely remains skeptical of these reports, citing a lack of solid evidence. Critics argue that the isolated, high-stress environment of Antarctica, coupled with the continent's unique atmospheric and light conditions, can lead to misinterpretations of natural phenomena. However, as our technological capability advances and the access to Antarctica becomes increasingly democratized, the opportunity for gathering more comprehensive data grows. Until then, the enigmatic sightings over the frozen expanse of Antarctica will continue to mystify and tantalize both believers and skeptics alike, standing as a testament to the enduring human fascination with the possibility of life beyond our own planet. The alleged pyramids of Antarctica. In 2016, the internet was buzzing with excitement over Google Earth pictures of Antarctica, which seemed to depict pyramid-like structures amidst the icy terrain. These structures bear a striking resemblance to the iconic Giza pyramids found in Egypt. The question that arises is whether these pyramids in Antarctica are truly the work of an ancient civilization. The origin of these pyramids has been a subject of various theories. Among the more contentious proposals are the notions that they could have been remains left by an ancient civilization called Atlantis in Antarctica, or that they were constructed by beings from outer space. Some experts in the field have put forward a geological interpretation for the pyramids found in Antarctica. According to these scientists, it is possible that these structures are not actual pyramids, but rather nunataks. Nunataks are mountain peaks that emerge from below the ice and stand taller than the surrounding landscape. The Antarctica pyramids consist of two structures that are situated approximately 10 miles, or 16 kilometers away from the coastline. The third pyramid is positioned in close proximity to the shoreline. The unearthing of these structures in Antarctica implies that humans may have occupied the region several thousand years ago. This discovery aligns with the era when pyramids were constructed in other parts of the world. The research conducted by Charles Hapgood provides evidence for the potential existence of an ancient civilization on a landmass that is presently engulfed by ice. Dr. Charles Hapgood's publication, Maps of the Ancient Sea Kings, featured the Piri Reis map of Antarctica, causing a global sensation during the 16th century. The remarkable aspect of this map was its depiction of Antarctica devoid of ice. The Piri Reis map was found in Turkey. A Turkish naval officer sent the map to the US Navy Hydrographic Bureau in 1953. M.I. Walters, the chief engineer of the Bureau, sent the map to Arlington H. Mallory to be evaluated. Mallory determined that the Piri Reis map was completely accurate and may have been copied from a map made 6,000 years ago. The Piri Reis map of Antarctica has proven to be highly precise. Through the utilization of seismic soundings and sonar technology, scientists have discovered that the geographical features outlined on the map, including coastlines, mountain ranges and plateaus, correspond remarkably well with the actual Queen Maud Land in Antarctica. In fact, Ohlmeyer, the leader of the British-Swedish expedition to Antarctica, even wrote a letter to Hapgood expressing his astonishment at the map's accuracy. Dear Professor Hapgood, your request of evaluation of certain unusual features of the Piri Reis Antarctica map of 1513 by this organization has been reviewed. The claim that the lower part of the map portrays the Princess Martha coast of Queen Maud Land, Antarctic, and the Palmer Peninsula is reasonable. We find that this is the most logical and, in all probability, the correct interpretation of the map. The geographical detail shown in the lower part of the map agrees very remarkably with the results of the seismic profile made across the top of the ice cap by the Swedish-British Antarctic expedition of 1949. This indicates the coastline had been mapped before it was covered by the ice cap. The ice cap in this region is now about a mile thick. We have no idea how the data on this map can be reconciled with the supposed state of geographical knowledge in 1513. Harold Z. Ohlmeyer, Lieutenant Colonel, United States Air Force Commander. Did an ancient civilization once live in Antarctica? The idea of an ancient civilization in Antarctica, the world's coldest, windiest, and most remote continent, might seem improbable, even absurd. However, we will attempt to explore this theory from a purely speculative standpoint, looking at the conditions necessary for such a civilization and the possible reasons why evidence of its existence may remain elusive. Firstly, we must consider the geological history of Antarctica. For much of Earth's history, Antarctica was not the ice-encrusted landmass we know today. Approximately 170 million years ago, during the Jurassic period, Antarctica was part of the supercontinent Gondwana, enjoying a much warmer climate and abundant plant life. It was not until around 15 million years ago that Antarctica's current icy state started forming. If we were to speculate about an ancient human civilization, it would need to have existed during a period when Antarctica's climate was more habitable. In the context of human evolution, Homo sapiens have only been around for approximately 300,000 years, although it's important to note that our human history is constantly being pushed back with new findings. For an advanced civilization to exist in Antarctica, this would need to have occurred in a geologically short window of time, when both humans existed and Antarctica was free from extensive ice coverage. However, mainstream archaeological and evolutionary consensus suggest this is extremely unlikely. Nonetheless, for the purpose of this thought experiment, let's say that a band of early Homo sapiens, for reasons unknown, made the extraordinary journey to Antarctica and managed to survive. What would have been necessary for them to build an advanced civilization? Firstly, the availability of food and fresh water would have been essential. We can postulate that a hypothetically ice-free Antarctica could have been home to a range of wildlife, much like any other continent, providing ample hunting opportunities. Fresh water could come from rivers and lakes. Secondly, the development of agriculture is often seen as a prerequisite for the emergence of advanced civilizations. The hypothetical inhabitants of ancient Antarctica would have needed to master the cultivation of local plants, creating a stable food supply that would allow the population to grow and create settlements. The creation of tools, the discovery of fire, the invention of the wheel, and the development of written language are all milestones that mark the emergence of advanced civilizations. These discoveries would have also been necessary for our theoretical Antarctic civilization, providing the means for technological advancement communication, and the recording of history. However, one significant question arises. If an advanced civilization did exist in Antarctica, why haven't we found any evidence? One possibility is that the evidence is buried beneath the continent's massive ice sheets, inaccessible to modern archaeological efforts. Alternatively, any physical evidence of such a civilization might have been eroded or destroyed by the very processes that transformed Antarctica into the icy wilderness we see today. From a scientific standpoint, the likelihood of an advanced human civilization ever having existed in Antarctica is incredibly low. The timeline of human evolution, geological changes, and the lack of archaeological evidence do not support this hypothesis. Nevertheless, it presents a fascinating thought experiment that challenges our understanding of human history and the dynamism of our planet. This theory also highlights the vast and still largely untapped potential for discovery that lies within Antarctica. Despite its inhospitable conditions, the continent holds the keys to understanding Earth's past climate and potentially our future in the face of global change. Who knows what secrets lie beneath its ice, waiting to be uncovered? As of right now, the concept of an ancient civilization in Antarctica is an intriguing theory that captures the imagination. As we continue to explore and study Antarctica, we may yet uncover secrets that challenge our perceptions of what is possible. A user on Reddit just posted an interesting story, detailing that from the late 2000s to mid-2010, they worked as a molecular biologist for a national security contractor in a program to study exobiospheric organisms. They posted the following on Reddit, but oddly enough, after only a few hours, their messages were deleted and their account was taken down. They said the following: "From the late 2000s to mid-2010, I worked as a molecular biologist for a national security contractor in a program to study exobiospheric organisms. The aim of the program was to elucidate the genome and proteome basis of these organisms. Although the study of OBCs has been going on for decades in other programs, the new high-throughput DNA sequencing technologies of the late 90s unblocked stagnant research in this area. Since then, several breakthroughs have led to significant advances in our understanding of the genome and proteome of these beings. What we've learned so far has enabled us to outline some disconcerting perspectives about our place in this universe. Briefly, we've discovered that the exobiospheric organism's genome is a chimera of genomes from our biosphere and from an unknown one. They are artificial, ephemeral, and disposable organisms created for a purpose that still partially eludes us. I'll be substantiating my statements after a brief introduction. The reason for disclosing these secrets is quite simple. I believe that every human being has the right to know the truth, and that to progress, humanity needs to divest itself of certain institutions and organizations that will probably not survive these revelations in the long term. I'm aware that I'll have very little impact in this regard, but I still believe that small leaks are necessary to break the dam of misinformation on this subject. When the governments will eventually reveal these secrets, there will undoubtedly be a societal upheaval, but in my opinion, the longer we wait, the worse it will be. I choose to divulge what I know anonymously out of selfishness for the well-being of myself and my family. I'm aware that this diminishes the reach and credibility of my message, but it's the furthest I am willing to go. I chose this forum because it offers a good compromise between anonymity and popularity. In order to protect my anonymity, I will be purposely vague or even contradictory about any information that could identify me. I'll even introduce red herrings in this respect. I want to make it clear that any information related to the subject of the research will not be treated in this way. Before going any further, please excuse me if you find it difficult to understand what I'm explaining. Some parts of my text are very technical. It's difficult to find the right balance between vulgarization and scientific explanation. I'll continue by talking about myself. I simply want to introduce a perspective on the type of people who work there. I have a PhD in molecular biology. I didn't actively seek to be part of this program. Rather, it was a stroke of luck that introduced me to one of the senior scientists. I met this person at a conference where I was presenting a poster on my PhD research. When I think back, I don't believe he was impressed by what I was presenting, because it was quite frankly a project that wasn't going anywhere. I think it was rather the most important aspect of a professional life, the attitude and the ease with which you make connections. Shortly afterwards, I graduated and received a call from this person offering me a position. At the time, everything pointed to me working in a regular laboratory. I did a series of 3 increasingly suspicious interviews, each in a different location, where my scientific background and knowledge became less and less relevant. The first was with 2 of the senior scientists, the second and third with people I've never seen again, and who were obviously not interested in science. Sometime after the interview, I was asked to go to a 4th location, where what seemed like a corporate lawyer presented me with an NDA. He made sure not only to explain every detail, but also that I understood the consequence of not respecting it. The first employment weeks were by far the most memorable, although I spent most of that time in an archive room. It consists almost exclusively of reading about the subject of study and to get us up to speed. There's no secret Wikipedia or even a reference book to guide us. There are only dry reports, memos, presentations, procedures, and SOPs. These documents are almost exclusively about the biology of exobiospheric organisms, but there are also a few that deal with other subjects such as their food, religion, or culture. There were no documents on their technology. As mentioned above, the aim of the project is to gain a better understanding of the EBO genome and proteome. To achieve this, a team of around 20 scientists, 4 senior scientists and a director was involved. The scientists, like myself, had as their main responsibility to carry out the technical work. As each scientist had, to my knowledge, a PhD, we were all somewhat overqualified for what is ultimately a technician's job. The senior scientists, who make full use of their diplomas, had the task of designing the assays and had a supervisory responsibility. They were also in charge of training new employees and sometimes even came in to do technical work. The director, of course, was the person in charge who dictated priorities to the senior scientists. He was rarely on site, and the few times he was, it was to attend meetings. Other than the scientific staff, there were security guards working for one subcontractor or another. There were no support staff such as janitors or maintenance workers. Scientists were responsible for this kind of work. In addition, logistical constraints ensure that every scientist is capable of carrying out any technical activity. The laboratory itself is located in Fort Detrick, Maryland, in a building used for legitimate biomedical research. The clandestine operations are carried out in a restricted part of the basement, out of sight from regular workers. Contrary to what one might imagine, the biosafety level is not maximal for this type of research. Indeed, the lab containing exobiospheric organism samples or derived cell cultures is biosafety level 3, while the lab where assays are conducted are only biosafety level 2. The biosafety level 3 area of the facility includes a freezer room and a cell culture lab, and is only accessible through an antechamber from the biosafety level 2 section. Exobiospheric organism carcasses are preserved in horizontal freezers at a temperature of -80 degrees. To maximize the preservation of these organisms, they are preserved in vacuum bags, and the air in the room is controlled to minimize humidity. There are only 4 entities, and none of them are complete. It's obvious that these creatures passed away as a result of major trauma. It is acknowledged that there are more exobiospheric organisms at other locations. The cell culture laboratory, as its name suggests, is where cell lines derived from exobiospheric organisms are grown and related activities are performed. I'll talk in more detail about these specific cell lines later on. The biosafety level 2 part is mainly used for assays, immunohistochemistry, genetic engineering, immunocytochemistry, and storage. There's also a cell culture lab, but this is used for more traditional cell lines. Other than the labs, there are all the amenities you could find in an office. Note that the internet access is limited to senior staff and up. There is, however, an intranet for bioinformatics needs. On the subject of the biology of these beings, I'll start by discussing genetics, then their gross anatomy, and finally, their biological systems. For the sake of clarity, the information that I provide here is an aggregation of what I have observed and what I have read. I will make many comparisons with human anatomy because it is the most logical reference. First, I'd like to discuss their genetics. Their genetics are like ours, based on DNA. This fact was very puzzling for me when I first learned about it. We imagine that beings from an alternate biosphere would have genetics based on a completely foreign biochemical system, and surprisingly, this is not the case. Several conclusions can be drawn from this surprising revelation. The one that immediately comes to mind is that our biosphere and theirs share a common ancestry. They're eukaryotes, which means their cells have nuclei containing genetic material, which suggests that their biosphere would have been separated from ours sometime after the appearance of this type of organism. The term exobiospheric organism is actually a misnomer, but as it's a historical term, it's still used. Their genetics are not only based on the same genetic system, but they're also even compatible with our own cellular machinery. This means that you can take a human gene and insert it into an exobiospheric organism cell, and that gene will be translated into protein. And this, of course, works in reverse with a human gene inserted into an exobiospheric organism cell. There are important differences in post-translational modifications that will make the final protein non-functional, but I'll discuss these later. Their genome consists of 16 circular chromosomes. You're probably familiar with the concept of intergenic region, or junk DNA. These are basically DNA sequences that don't code for proteins. These are evolutionary residues, transposons, inactivated genes, and so on. To give you an idea, in humans, intergenic regions represent approximately 99% of our genome. I'm aware that these sequences aren't completely useless. They can be used as histone anchors, as buffers to protect coding DNA from radiation, or even as alternative open reading frames, but that's rather peripheral. What's particularly striking about the exobiospheric organism's genome is the uniformity of these intergenic regions. We see the same sequences repeated everywhere, and the distance in BP between the genes is virtually the same throughout their genome. The result is a minimalist, highly condensed genome. In fact, it's much smaller than ours. Moreover, the quantity of protein-coding genes is even significantly lower than ours, probably due to genetic refinement, but also to biological processes that are absent in exobiospheric organisms. The uniformity of these sequences is a major indication of the artificiality of these beings. There is no complex organism on Earth that has such elegance in its sequences. There is no evolutionary pressure that can lead to this kind of characteristic other than genetic engineering. Speaking of genetic engineering, following sequencing of their genomes, we noticed a troubling and universal characteristic in the 5 of the regulatory sequence of each gene, which we call the tripalindromic region. The tripalindromic region are 134 sequences containing, as its name suggests, 3 palindromes. In genetics, a palindrome is a DNA sequence that, when read in the same direction, gives the same sequence on both DNA strands. They serve both as a flag and as a binding site for proteins. The 3 palindromes in the tripalindromic region are distinct from one another and have been poetically named 5 tripalindromic region, M tripalindromic region, and 3 tripalindromic region. The chromosomal address is composed of 4 BP and is identical in each tripalindromic region of the same chromosome, but distinct between each of the 16 chromosomes of the genome. The gene address is a 64 BP sequence that is unique for each gene in the whole genome. It's therefore understandable that the tripalindromic region serves as a unique address, not only for numerically identifying a gene, but also for identifying its chromosomal location. For those with only a basic knowledge of genetics, this is completely unheard of. No living thing in our biosphere has this kind of precise address in its genome. Once again, the presence of tripalindromic region cannot be explained by evolutionary pressure, but only by genetic engineering on a genomic scale. Tripalindromic region opens the door to several possibilities. One of them suggests that exobiospheric organism geneticists can insert or remove a gene from a cell in a way that is far more targeted and efficient than our technology allows. No proteins have been identified in the exobiospheric organism genome that interacts with the tripalindromic region. Rather, we believe that these proteins are exclusively targeted by external genetic engineering tools, probably used at the zygotic stage of embryonic development. The nature of these tools is unclear, but we definitely don't have anything like them. The probable absence of these proteins from the genome is a further indication of their artificiality. Given the high probability of artificiality of their genome, and the apparent ease of modifying it with biomolecular tools, it's not out of the question that there could be polymorphism between individuals depending on their role and function. In other words, an individual could be genetically designed to have characteristics that give it an advantage in performing a given task, like soldier ants and worker ants in an anthill. Note that these previous statements are speculation. To my knowledge, only one individual genome has been sequenced. I can't make a definitive statement on genetic variation between individuals. I've talked a lot about intergenic regions. Now I'll briefly discuss intragenic sequences. Briefly, because there's not a lot less to say despite its obvious importance. Much like ours, their genes have silencers, enhancers, promoters, 5 UTRs, exons, introns, and 3 UTRs. There are many genes analogous to ours, which is not surprising given the compatibility of our cellular machinery. What's disturbing is that some genes correspond directly, nucleotide by nucleotide, with known human genes or even some animal genes. For these genes, there doesn't seem to be any artificial refinement, but rather a crude copying and pasting. Why they do it is nebulous and still subject to conjecture. There are also many genes which are not found in our biosphere, whose role has not been identified. Finding the purpose of these novel genes is one of the aims of the program. I'd like to note before going any further that this heterogeneity of genes of known and unknown origin is an undeniable proof of the artificiality of exobiospheric organisms. To conclude with genetics, the mitochondrial genome, at the time I was working there, had not yet been sequenced. It's safe to assume that this genome would also be streamlined and possibly has some version of tri-palindromic region. Transcription and translation and protein expression. I briefly introduced the differences in post-translational modifications between human and exobiospheric organism. This is hardly a surprise, as we often see the same thing between different terrestrial species. Obtaining a viable protein from a DNA sequence is a complex process involving hundreds of protein intermediates, each with a precise and essential role. A minor variation in this assembly line can lead to functional irregularities in the final product. So, it's no surprise that there are setbacks along the way when the first exobiospheric organism gene transfection attempts failed to produce the desired functional protein in human cell lines. Fortunately for us, the work of what I imagine to be another team at another site has led to the development of an exobiospheric organism cell line named EPIG-11, derived from epithelial tissues. With this tool in our hands, we were able to transfect and overexpress proteins of interest in order to eventually purify and study them. For your information, we use a biological ballistics delivery system for our transfection needs because other methods are not very effective with cells of this line. For example, the viral vectors tested cannot be internalized by EPIG-11 and lipofection is too lethal. EPIG-11, like most eukaryotic cell lines, enters a phase of exponential growth when exposed to fetal bovine serum. It's only half surprising that a cell line from such an exotic source should be sensitive to the growth factors present in FBS. In my opinion, this can be explained by the addition of animal genes to the genome, such as growth receptors. Gross anatomy. They are morphologically very similar to the grey aliens that are part of modern folklore. Their height is about 150 centimeters. They have 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. Still, there are some notable differences. The grey skin that is often described in folklore is in fact a biosynthetic film which, likely, serves to protect the exobiospheric organism from a hostile environment. It doesn't provide effective protection against temperature changes, but it does offer adequate protection against the passage of liquids. It's possible that this film confers other advantages, but my knowledge on the subject is limited. Under the grey film, the epidermis is rather white, and the texture is very regular and without any hair. We do not see any defect other than the folds near the joints. It's described as greasy in one report, but that's not something I've observed. The same report states that a strong, lingering smell of burnt hair and ammonia is present when the film is removed. There are a lot of pores on the skin, crossing from the epidermis to a gland in the hypodermis. These glands and pores are the terminal part of the excretory sudoriferous system, which could explain the previously mentioned smell. The head contains 2 large, oversized eyes, 2 nostrils without protuberance, a narrow mouth without lips, and 2 ear canals without auricles. There is a mandible, but the musculature is vestigial. There are no teeth or tongue in the oral cavity. The nasal cavity where the nostrils meet is compact and does not rise cranially, but extends axially. There appears to be no equivalent to the olfactory bulb in the nasal cavity. The mouth leads directly to the esophagus and the nasal cavity to the trachea. The trachea and esophagus do not communicate. Like the skin, the eyes are covered with a semi-transparent biosynthetic film that offers the same environmental protection while providing protection against certain wavelengths and light intensity. When the film is removed, a more traditional eye is revealed. It's about 3 times larger than a human eye, and there are no eyelids. The size of their eyes suggests they have excellent night vision. It seems paradoxical to cover them with a semi-opaque film. Perhaps they only need to wear it in a bright environment. Their sclera is the same color as their skin, the iris is pale grey, and the pupil is black and oversized. The lens is rounder than a human, and the musculature used to adjust focus is more developed. On the retina, there are at least 6 types of cone cells. The responsiveness of each of these 6 types of cone is specific to a wavelength band, with a minimum of overlap between each other. The result is a broader visible spectrum. As mentioned, the outer ear has no auricle and the ear canal is unremarkable. The inner ear has all the characteristics of a typical vestibular and cochlear system. Although the curvature of the cochlea is more pronounced than a human, this probably results in greater hearing acuity for low frequencies. The brain is tetraspheric and is composed of 4 major sections. The sections are separated by transverse and longitudinal fissures and are connected to the central lobe, which acts as brainstem and cerebellum. The volume of the brain is around 20% superior to that of a man of the same height. It has a much more pronounced level of gyrification than an average human. Moreover, the ratio of glial cells to neurons is also slightly higher than in humans. It is important to mention the presence of nodules on the central lobe. Histological analysis of these structures reveals a kind of intricate biological circuitry. It is speculated that these nodules are essential to interact with their technology. Consequently, determining the proteome of these structures is an absolute priority for the program. The neck is proportionally longer than that of a human, and at the same time relatively thin. As mentioned, the esophagus and trachea are separate. There are no vocal cords in this region. The musculature of the thorax is underdeveloped. Muscles equivalent to the pectoralis major can be seen. We can also see the trapezius and deltoid muscles. The sternocleidomastoids are well defined. The ribs and sternum are clearly visible. The abdomen is wider than the thorax and bulges slightly forward. There is no navel. Their hands have 4 digits, including an opposable thumb on the medial side. They have no nails, and the texture of their fingerprints is composed of concentric circles. Fingers are proportionally much longer than in humans. Unlike humans, finger musculature is entirely intrinsic to the hand. In other words, the muscles used to move the fingers are not in the forearms, but entirely located in the hands. At first glance, the feet consist of just 2 digits, but a necropsy soon determined that each toe was made of 2 fused digits. The medial toe is marginally longer than the distal toe. The feet are relatively longer and narrower than in a human. Their musculature, however, is vestigial. The exobiospheric organism's endoskeleton is very similar to ours, at least in terms of composition. There's collagen, hydroxyapatite, but also copper oxide crystals where marrow would normally be found. The blood cells of the myeloid lineage therefore mature in a different location than in humans. A transverse section of the bone reveals osteon and osteocytes. There appear to be few osteoblasts and no osteoclasts. This indicates that the bones are no longer growing and cannot absorb the minerals present or adapt mechanically to changes in posture. Their cellular respiration is equivalent to ours. They need to oxidize organic components to produce energy. Their lungs have no reciprocating action, but rather have a unidirectional flow of air, similar to those seen in birds, which is more efficient than ours. It is speculated that this is in response to the brain's elevated metabolic needs. Vocalization is produced by vibration of the wall membrane at the junction between the 2 air sacs. The circulatory system of exobiospheric organisms is rather analogous to ours. The heart is located in the mediastinum, but in a more medial position, directly beneath the sternum. The heart has 2 ventricles and 2 atria. There is an aorta, a pulmonary vein, a pulmonary artery, and a vena cava. Blood flowing to the pulmonary capillaries via the pulmonary artery is pumped against the flow of air, maximizing gas exchange efficiency. The blood-gas barrier is relatively narrow in these capillaries, at least compared to a human. Then, oxygen-rich blood is returned to the heart and then expelled into the aorta and the rest of the body. Before returning to the heart, the blood will pass through the hepatorenal organ, which, among other things, filters and controls osmotic pressure of the blood. The blood itself is also analogous to that of a human. However, the proportion of plasma is much higher. Albumin is in similar proportion, hormone levels are much lower, metal ion levels are much higher, and glucose levels are significantly higher. The color of the blood is brownish, given the higher proportion of plasma and concentration of metal ions. On the cellular side, there are erythrocytes which, in addition to hemoglobin for binding oxygen, display several complexes capable of binding copper ions. It's not clear what role these copper ions play, but we believe it neutralizes blood ammonia, among other things. Several cell types with leukocyte characteristics have been observed, but no comprehensive knowledge of them exists. The Great Pyramid of Giza's 100-foot-long chamber. Researchers from the Scans Pyramids project recently revealed the discovery of an internal void within the Great Pyramid of Giza, also referred to as the Pyramid of Khufu. This remarkable finding, made possible through the use of tomography, uncovers a previously unknown chamber that stretches over 100 feet in length. Notably, this is the first newly found chamber within the pyramid since the 19th century. Originally, the team's objective was to analyze construction methods and gain insights into the inaccessible internal structures of the pyramid. The Scans Pyramids project, initiated in 2015, is an international endeavor led by Egypt's Ministry of Antiquities. Its primary objective is to employ non-invasive technological methods to gain insights into Egypt's pyramids. The ancient Egyptian pharaoh Khufu constructed the Great Pyramid on the Giza Plateau during the 4th dynasty. This monumental structure is among the oldest and largest on Earth. However, the construction techniques employed in its creation remain a subject of ongoing debate, with no widely agreed upon consensus. Researchers have made an interesting discovery by utilizing 3 different muon detection technologies. The chamber was found, and its existence was confirmed by 3 separate analysis teams. This discovery is particularly significant as it is the first of its kind, despite the presence of documents dating as far back as 2013 at the construction site. Muons, as reported by National Geographic, continuously bombard the Earth, originating from collisions between cosmic rays and the Earth's upper atmosphere. While they are imperceptible to the human eye, scientists have the ability to detect them using films and specialized detectors that track their 3-dimensional trajectories. Muons have a higher permeability in empty space compared to denser materials, thus positioning multiple muon detectors around a structure enables scientists to create a map distinguishing between solid and empty sections of the structure. Muon tomography, despite its capabilities, is incapable of detecting small air shafts. The density analysis of the pyramid's structure using muon observation took several months to gather sufficient data. Through analyzing the cross-section and dimensions of the empty space, researchers have determined that it is a significant feature within the pyramid, exhibiting similar muon data patterns as the Grand Gallery. This finding strongly suggests that the void was intentionally left vacant, although the contents, purpose and potential existence of other similar spaces remain uncertain. It is worth noting that the presence of a chamber is remarkable, given that most pyramids consist predominantly of solid rock. According to the article in Nature, the chamber referred to as the Scan Pyramid's Big Void was initially detected using nuclear emulsion films within the Queen's chamber. This observation was later verified by scintillator hodoscopes positioned in the same chamber and further confirmed by gas detectors placed outside the pyramid. Pyramids present a challenge when it comes to exploration due to the diverse construction methods employed by different dynasties. The variations in materials and designs necessitate careful investigation. At present, it remains uncertain if researchers will be granted permission to explore the recently found void, as Egypt has implemented stringent regulations on pyramid exploration due to extensive looting during the 19th and 20th centuries. The Great Pyramid of Giza, one of the most iconic and mysterious structures in the world, is a marvel of ancient architecture. Built during the Old Kingdom of Egypt, this impressive pyramid continues to fascinate researchers and visitors alike. The Great Pyramid, also known as the Pyramid of Khufu or the Pyramid of Cheops, was constructed around 4,500 years ago as a burial monument for Pharaoh Khufu. The pyramid stands on the Giza Plateau near Cairo, Egypt, and was the tallest man-made structure in the world for over 3,800 years. The exact number of stone blocks used to build the Great Pyramid is a subject of debate among scholars. Various estimates have been proposed based on different assumptions and calculations. It is important to note that the pyramid's construction methods and techniques have been the subject of extensive research, but many details remain uncertain. One estimate suggests that the Great Pyramid consists of approximately 2.3 million stone blocks. This figure is derived from the average weight of the individual blocks and the estimated volume of the pyramid. The majority of these blocks are limestone, quarried from nearby sources. Some of the larger blocks used in the pyramid's construction weigh several tons. However, other estimates propose different figures. Some researchers argue that the number of stone blocks may be higher, reaching around 2.5 million or even more. This discrepancy arises due to variations in the size of the blocks, the complexity of the pyramid's internal structure, and the challenges in accurately measuring and counting the blocks. The construction techniques employed by the ancient Egyptians played a crucial role in the building of the pyramid. Although new evidence is being presented about how the pyramids were constructed, as of right now, scientists have said that the blocks were carefully cut and shaped, then transported to the construction site using sledges, ramps, and possibly a system of levers and pulleys. The blocks were then meticulously arranged in a precise pattern, with the outer layers meticulously aligned to create the smooth pyramid shape. While the exact number of stone blocks remains uncertain, what is clear is the immense effort and skill that went into constructing the Great Pyramid. It stands as a testament to the advanced engineering and architectural capabilities of the ancient Egyptians. The precision with which the blocks were cut and positioned, as well as the sheer size and scale of the pyramid, demonstrate the ingenuity and planning involved in its construction. The Great Pyramid continues to captivate the imagination of people worldwide. Its monumental size, mysterious inner chambers, and the intricate construction techniques used are a testament to the ancient Egyptians' engineering prowess. The pyramid serves as a reminder of the remarkable achievements of this ancient civilization and their deep understanding of mathematics, astronomy, and architecture. As of right now, the exact number of stone blocks used in the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza remains a topic of speculation and debate among researchers. Estimates range from around 2.3 million to higher figures, reflecting variations in size, complexity, and measurement methods. Regardless of the precise number, the Great Pyramid stands as a remarkable feat of human engineering and a symbol of ancient Egypt's rich cultural heritage. Its enduring mystery and grandeur continue to inspire awe and admiration, inviting us to explore and appreciate the remarkable achievements of our ancestors. Serapeum of Saqqara. The Serapeum of Saqqara, discovered in 1850, has sparked ongoing speculation and curiosity. Despite numerous theories, there is still no definitive explanation for how and why the 24 massive sarcophagi were transported to the site and meticulously placed in their designated slots. While the prevailing notion proposes that the location served as a burial ground for Apis bulls, there are several aspects that challenge this belief. The dimensions of the boxes are larger than the dimensions of the bulls. Similarly, why was this not done for the pharaohs, who were laid to rest in cramped coffins that barely accommodated their bodies? Additionally, why were the sarcophagi in the Serapeum constructed using granite instead of the easier-to-handle limestone? People who are knowledgeable about the subject often dismiss the idea that the Serapeum was used for ceremonial burials, especially in the Grand Gallery where the large coffins are found. However, if that is not the case, then what purpose did it serve? This is a question that has perplexed Egyptologists, and so far they have not found a credible alternative theory. Since its exploration in 1850, the Serapeum of Saqqara has perplexed archaeologists and scholars, sparking discussions regarding the purpose and significance of the discovered tunnels. This remarkable historical complex houses 24 colossal stone structures, commonly referred to as boxes. These impressive artifacts weigh an astonishing 70 to 100 tons each, and serve as a testament to the advanced knowledge in fields like geometry and mathematics possessed by the ancient Egyptians. A component of the megalithic boxes, the 30-ton covers were constructed from identical stone blocks. Upon their discovery, a few of these lids were opened using gunpowder, revealing that the immense boxes were empty inside. Presently, researchers remain uncertain about the true intention behind these colossal boxes and how they were assembled thousands of years ago. The inquiry that arises from the presence of these containers revolves around whether the ancient Egyptians constructed them as commemorative sepulchres for the Apis bulls. If this was the case, why have no remains been discovered? The Apis bulls held immense reverence in ancient Egyptian culture and were among the earliest sacred cults in their history. It is believed by historians that the Apis bull was considered both a divine entity and a tangible representation of the Egyptian pharaohs. It is worth noting that the majority of these boxes are constructed from rose granite, a highly durable stone extracted from a quarry approximately 800 kilometers away from Saqqara. Additionally, some boxes were crafted from an even more resilient substance called diorite, which was sourced from an even greater distance beyond Saqqara. The remarkable accuracy of the boxes is a noteworthy attribute that has puzzled researchers and visitors alike. The discrepancies are recorded in thousandths of an inch, demonstrating an extraordinary level of precision. This raises a question that persists even after thousands of years. How was such precision achieved? The ancient Egyptians possessed a deep understanding of applied mathematics and geometry long before the construction of the Serapeum of Saqqara, showcasing their remarkable intelligence and capabilities. This fact serves to highlight the extraordinary knowledge and skills of the ancient Egyptians without any doubt or skepticism. The earliest texts on geometry, such as the Rind Papyrus and Moscow Papyrus, provide evidence of ancient knowledge in this field. It is remarkable to consider that even after several centuries, ancient Egyptians could still achieve remarkable precision in constructing corners with a 90-degree angle. The lingering inquiry is, how exactly did the ancient Egyptians acquire this knowledge? Furthermore, where did they obtain the tools utilized in these structures? Lastly, why are these colossal boxes devoid of any contents? Could there be a significant event in ancient history that has been disregarded by mainstream scholars, yet holds the key to comprehending the intelligence and capabilities of ancient civilizations like the Egyptians? The mystery of the crystal skulls. The crystal skulls are fascinating and enigmatic artifacts that have captured the imaginations of people around the world. These skull-shaped objects, carved from various types of crystal, have been the subject of speculation, mystery, and controversy. Crystal skulls are believed to have originated in ancient Mesoamerican civilizations, such as the Aztec, Maya, and Olmec. These skulls were intricately carved from a variety of crystals, including quartz, amethyst, and jade. They were crafted with remarkable precision, displaying intricate details and polished surfaces. One of the most famous crystal skulls is the Mitchell-Hedges skull, named after its discoverer, British adventurer and explorer F.A. Mitchell-Hedges. According to Mitchell-Hedges, he discovered the skull in the ruins of a Mayan city in Belize in the early 20th century. The Mitchell-Hedges skull stands out due to its exceptional craftsmanship and claims of being of ancient origin. Legend and speculation surround the crystal skulls, with some suggesting that they possess mystical powers or are connected to ancient civilizations' wisdom and knowledge. Some proponents believe that the skulls were used for various purposes, including healing, divination, and communication with the spirit world. Others claim that the skulls hold information and secrets about humanity's past, or even advanced origins. Crystal skulls have captivated the globe for numerous years due to their exquisite intricacy, exceptional craftsmanship, and enigmatic symbolism. The fascination originated in the late 1800s, when a collection of 13 crystal skulls gradually emerged in various art and historical communities worldwide. Since then, there has been speculation regarding their origins and purpose, leading to one burning question: do these crystal skulls possess unique abilities? According to those who possess crystal skulls, there is a firm belief in their ability to hold ancient wisdom. Typically constructed from quartz, a mineral widely used in telecommunications and data storage due to its piezoelectric properties, these skulls are thought to be vessels of knowledge that can potentially benefit humanity. The belief stems from the fact that quartz, being one of the few solid materials on Earth capable of converting mechanical energy into electrical energy, can supposedly transfer its accumulated wisdom to more recent sculpted versions of crystal skulls. Crystal skulls have gained popularity among those who believe in their healing abilities. These sacred geometric sculptures, made from various precious stones, are believed to enhance the energy and effectiveness of healing crystals. Many individuals have reported positive outcomes when using crystal skulls to manifest their intentions. They have been used as complementary aids in healing the heart and mind, providing an expedited healing process when combined with traditional treatments. Crystal skulls are well known for their capacity to enhance psychic abilities. Experts in crystallography suggest that the vibrational energy released by these skulls replicates the electromagnetic waves produced by the brain during thought formation, thereby facilitating the acquisition of valuable insights and profound knowledge. Individuals who incorporate crystal skulls into their meditation practices often report heightened clarity in psychic visions and foreknowledge. A recent advancement in this area has introduced the concept of utilizing crystal skulls to amplify interstellar communication endeavors with extraterrestrial civilizations. The origins of these entities are veiled in enigma, adding to their allure. 3 prevailing theories exist. One suggests that they may have originated from past human civilizations, such as the Mayans. Another proposes that they were constructed in now-lost cities like Atlantis or Lemuria. Lastly, a third theory posits that they were not crafted by humans, but rather by beings from other realms. Crystal skulls have been a subject of fascination, particularly in relation to the Mayan civilization. According to ancient beliefs, there were 13 crystal skulls, with 12 being of equal size and containing valuable information from different planets. The remaining skull, significantly larger, served as the central consciousness that united all worlds. When arranged circularly with the 12 smaller skulls, the integration of knowledge was believed to occur, resulting in the profound enlightenment of humanity. These crystal skulls are regarded as potent conduits that facilitate the transmission of wisdom. The 13 crystal skulls were preserved on an ark during the Great Flood, a historical event recognized in specific regions. Following the flood, these skulls were scattered around the world. According to legend, when these 13 skulls are brought together in the future, humanity will gain access to valuable knowledge that can contribute to the creation of a more improved world. The indigenous peoples of America also reference 13 crystal skulls that house the wisdom of various realms and possess the means to unlock human enlightenment. An intriguing detail to highlight is that, in this rendition, the skulls emit melodic sounds. These enchanting and enigmatic tones have the power to mesmerize anyone who hears them, promoting positivity, happiness, and serenity. It remains uncertain as to the exact whereabouts of the skulls, but there has been significant speculation indicating that at least a portion of them may have been discovered. Experts in the field of crystal skulls unanimously acknowledge the inclusion of the Mitchell-Hedges skull among the 13 known specimens. Unearthed by Anna Mitchell-Hedges during her childhood at an archaeological excavation site in Belize in the 1920s, this particular skull is believed to have served as a tool of Mayan shamanism. Consequently, it has earned the name Skull of Doom. Following Mitchell-Hedges' demise, her husband assumed responsibility for the skull's safekeeping. Recently, an additional historical skull known as Baby Louvre has emerged. Discovered by monks, this skull, crafted from rose gold quartz, is believed to have been utilized by ancient Scythians, as well as a more ancient civilization, the Cimmerians. Presently, it is housed and cared for by Joki van Dieten. The British Museum located in London possesses a life-size crystal skull that seems to have been carved from a single substantial chunk of transparent quartz. The museum acquired it from Tiffany & Company in 1897. Prior to this, the skull was owned by a Spanish officer who had served in Mexico before the French occupation took place. In 1992, the Smithsonian Institution received an enigmatic package consisting of a sizable milky white quartz crystal skull. Accompanying the skull was a note indicating that it had been acquired in Mexico during the 1960s. The donation, given anonymously, continues to mystify and remains unsolved. In Europe, museums in Paris showcase smaller and less advanced crystal skulls. The United Nations invited the Mayan Council of Elders in 2012 to address the topic of the Mayan calendar's end on December 12, 2012, which some believed would signify the apocalypse. During their presentation, they discussed the significance of elevating human consciousness as a means of achieving global peace and initiating a fresh start. They emphasized the pivotal role played by crystal skulls in facilitating this transformation. In his discourse, Don Alejandro Cirillo Pérez Oxlage, an esteemed elder, responds to individuals who express apprehension about the symbolism associated with skulls. He asserts that the significance of crystal skulls is not linked to the afterlife, but rather represents the enduring nature of certain elements amidst constant change. Just as the physical appearance of crystal skulls has been preserved over time, so too has the wisdom passed down from one generation to another. Don Alejandro emphasizes the importance of safeguarding our inherited knowledge from the past and utilizing it to improve our future. Don Pedro Pablo Chukpech discussed the significance of discovering inner tranquility. The initial step towards establishing harmony in our external surroundings starts with attaining peace within ourselves. One way to achieve this is through crystal skull meditation, which enables us to delve into deeper levels of understanding and ultimately experience profound serenity. Hunbat's Men, a Mayan day keeper, proposes that it would be beneficial for humanity if each individual possessed their own crystal skull that they could establish a connection with on a regular basis. This practice would serve to awaken their dormant memories and facilitate the accumulation of new ones, enabling them to glean valuable lessons from past errors. The mysterious legend of the crystal skulls has captivated the imaginations of many, leading it to become a prominent element in popular culture. Interestingly, some have suggested that the crystal skulls hold important information about our past, and just recently, a scientist came forward and said that data storage in crystal quartz will change everything. Hitachi has recently introduced a groundbreaking technology in the form of a quartz glass sheet, which has caught the attention of many tech companies. This innovative storage device shows the potential to preserve data for an astonishing 300 million years. Compared to existing storage options like records, CDs, USB sticks, and magnetic tapes, this new technology surpasses them all in terms of capacity and longevity. Its development holds great promise for the future of data storage. While this may sound exciting, there are additional aspects to consider. Currently, Hitachi has a tangible product that they may potentially market once they find an efficient way to transfer data to computers and televisions. However, the initial model they have only offers a data storage capacity slightly higher than that of a CD. Nevertheless, this does not suggest that this technology is destined to fail. It is simply in its early stages of development. Furthermore, there are already individuals working on a larger and improved version. Scientists at the University of Southampton in the United Kingdom have made significant progress in the advancement of a remarkable technological innovation. The concept of ancient crystal skulls and the belief that they possess a treasury of knowledge is widely known. Throughout history, there have been claims that these crystal skulls hold ancient wisdom, potentially originating from the era of Atlantis or beyond. Heat anomaly found in the Great Pyramid. Egyptian officials in charge of antiquities have reported that a group of architects and scientists from different countries have discovered thermal anomalies within the pyramids of Giza. Thermal imaging cameras have identified elevated temperatures in 3 neighboring stones located at the base of the Great Pyramid. According to experts, potential factors contributing to this phenomenon include vacant spaces within the pyramid, airflow within the structure, or variations in construction materials. Experts are currently conducting a search for concealed chambers inside the pyramids. The burial sites of the Egyptian rulers Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure were constructed during the 4th dynasty. Different materials, such as air and rock, have varying abilities to retain heat. These variations in heat retention, known as thermal anomalies, can potentially indicate the presence of empty spaces beneath the surface. This could suggest the existence of cracks, cavities in the rock, or perhaps even hidden passages or tombs, which is quite intriguing. According to Antiquities Minister Mamdouh El-Damati, thermal scanning showed numerous temperature variations throughout the pyramids. However, a remarkable anomaly was discovered at ground level on the eastern side of the Khufu pyramid. The anomaly stood out among the temperature changes detected. El-Damati mentioned the presence of a narrow pathway on the ground leading towards the base of the pyramid, which eventually leads to an area with a distinct temperature. This raises curiosity about what lies beyond this pathway. Even though each individual block comprising the pyramids exhibits slight variations in temperature, the researchers were able to identify and study multiple consistent irregularities by closely monitoring the rate of heating and cooling. Despite the temperature variation typically ranging from 0.1 to 0.5 degrees Celsius among neighboring limestone blocks, the Great Pyramid exhibited a remarkable anomaly. It was observed to be 6 degrees warmer than the surrounding bricks, as evident from the provided thermal scans. The study, known as Operation Scan Pyramids, will extend until the conclusion of 2016, and thermal scanning marks the initial phase of the project. The researchers have future plans to employ infrared technology for the purpose of surveying the 3 pyramids. Additionally, they aim to utilize radiographic muons, a type of cosmic particle, along with 3D reconstruction techniques, in an attempt to map and reveal the hidden mysteries residing within the pyramids. Egyptologists are anticipating that their findings will provide further insights into the ancient structures and the individuals responsible for constructing them approximately 4,500 years ago. According to Egyptologist Beth Ann Judas, this anomaly has the potential to provide further insights into the construction methods employed by the Egyptians of the 4th dynasty. The ongoing discoveries in recent years have already deepened our understanding of the laborers and officials associated with the pyramids, and this particular finding adds to our knowledge in that regard. The Great Pyramid of Giza is one of the most iconic and enigmatic structures in the world. Built over 4,500 years ago, it has fascinated archaeologists, historians, and explorers for centuries. While much has been discovered about the pyramid's interior, there are still unexplored areas and voids that continue to intrigue and spark speculation. The Great Pyramid is known for its complex internal structure, consisting of various chambers and passages. The main chambers include the King's Chamber, the Queen's Chamber, and the Grand Gallery. These chambers have been extensively explored and studied, shedding light on the pyramid's construction techniques and religious significance. However, recent advancements in technology, such as ground-penetrating radar and thermal imaging, have revealed intriguing anomalies within the pyramid. In 2017, the Scan Pyramids project used muon radiography to detect a previously unknown void above the Grand Gallery. This void, dubbed the Big Void, has sparked intense interest and speculation about its purpose and significance. The exact nature of the Big Void remains a subject of debate. Some theories propose that it could be a hidden chamber or an architectural feature intended to reduce the weight of the structure. Others suggest that it could have served a ceremonial or symbolic purpose. However, without further exploration, the true nature of the Big Void remains a mystery. In addition to the Big Void, there are other unexplored areas within the Great Pyramid. For instance, there are narrow shafts within the pyramid's structure, known as the Queen's Chamber shafts and the King's Chamber shafts. These shafts have been the subject of much speculation, with theories ranging from ventilation systems to symbolic passageways. Despite previous exploration attempts, The full extent and purpose of these shafts are still not fully understood. The challenges of exploring these unexplored areas and voids are significant. The pyramid's internal structure is complex, and accessing these areas without causing damage requires careful planning and advanced technologies. Preservation and conservation efforts also need to be taken into consideration, as any exploration should not compromise the integrity of the pyramid. Furthermore, ethical considerations come into play. The Great Pyramid of Giza holds immense historical and cultural significance, and any exploration must be conducted responsibly and in collaboration with the relevant authorities and experts. It is essential to balance the pursuit of knowledge with the preservation of this ancient monument. Exploring the uncharted areas and voids of the Great Pyramid could potentially yield significant insights into ancient Egyptian civilization, their architectural techniques, and the purpose of these hidden spaces. It could shed light on the beliefs, rituals, and cultural practices of the time. Additionally, it may provide valuable information about the construction methods employed and the engineering prowess of the ancient Egyptians. As of right now, scientists and archaeologists have said that the unexplored areas and voids within the Great Pyramid of Giza continue to captivate the imagination and curiosity of researchers and enthusiasts. The recent discoveries of the Big Void and the ongoing mystery surrounding the shafts within the pyramid highlight the ongoing quest for knowledge about this ancient wonder. The exploration of these uncharted spaces poses both technical and ethical challenges, but with careful planning and collaboration, it holds the potential to unlock new insights into ancient Egyptian civilization and the secrets of the pyramid's construction. It is through responsible exploration and preservation that we can continue to unravel the mysteries of the Great Pyramid of Giza and gain a deeper understanding of our shared human history. The Great Pyramids of Giza, built by the ancient Egyptians over 4,500 years ago, continue to astound and amaze us with their remarkable precision and engineering prowess. These architectural wonders stand as a testament to the advanced knowledge and skills possessed by the ancient Egyptians. One of the key factors that contributed to the precision of the Great Pyramids was the Egyptians' deep understanding of mathematics and geometry. They had a sophisticated system of mathematics that allowed them to perform complex calculations and measurements. The ancient Egyptians were adept at using basic tools such as ropes, plumb lines, and levels to achieve remarkable accuracy in their constructions. The precise alignment of the pyramids with the cardinal points of the compass is a testament to their knowledge of astronomy and the use of astronomical observations. The Egyptians carefully observed the movement of the sun, moon, and stars, and their astronomical knowledge played a significant role in aligning the pyramids with celestial bodies. This alignment not only had religious and symbolic significance, but also helped ensure the precise orientation of the structures. Additionally, the ancient Egyptians employed a system of measurements that allowed them to achieve consistent and accurate dimensions in their constructions. They used the cubit, a unit of measurement based on the length of the forearm, to standardize their measurements. The cubit was divided into smaller units, such as the palm and the digit, which allowed for precise calculations and proportional relationships in their architectural designs. The Egyptians also utilized sophisticated surveying techniques to ensure the precise leveling and alignment of the pyramid's base. Some researchers have suggested that they employed a method known as the rope stretchers technique, where surveyors used ropes and sighting poles to establish straight lines and right angles. This technique allowed them to create a level and symmetrical foundation for the pyramids. However, many scholars have said that the exact technique of construction remains a mystery. Furthermore, the Egyptians displayed remarkable organizational skills and coordination in their construction projects. The construction of the pyramids involved a massive workforce, including skilled architects, engineers, and laborers. The project required careful planning and coordination to ensure the smooth execution of various tasks. The precise organization of the labor force and the clear division of responsibilities contributed to the overall precision of the construction. The use of ramps and ingenious engineering techniques also played a crucial role in achieving the precision of the pyramids. The Egyptians built enormous ramps to transport heavy stone blocks to higher levels during construction. They employed a system of levers and pulleys to lift and position the stones accurately. The ability to manipulate and control these massive stone blocks with such precision demonstrates the Egyptians' engineering ingenuity. It is worth noting that the construction of the pyramids was not a single event, but rather a culmination of architectural knowledge and experience gained over generations. The Egyptians continuously refined their techniques and learned from previous constructions, resulting in increasingly precise and sophisticated structures. No burial chambers found inside the Step Pyramid of Edfu. Archaeologists conducting research in the vicinity of the historic town of Edfu, located in southern Egypt, have recently discovered a stepped pyramid that can be traced back approximately 4,600 years. This makes it older than the renowned Great Pyramid of Giza by at least a few decades. The Step Pyramid, originally reaching a height of 43 feet or 13 meters, is among 7 provincial pyramids constructed by either Pharaoh Huni or Snefru. Over the years, the stone blocks of the Step Pyramid were plundered, and the structure has suffered from weathering, resulting in its current height of approximately 16 feet. Scattered throughout central and southern Egypt, the provincial pyramids are located near major settlements, have no internal chambers, and were not intended for burial. 6 of the 7 pyramids have almost identical dimensions, including the newly uncovered one at Edfu, which is about 60 by 61 feet. The reason behind the existence of these 7 pyramids remains unknown, sparking curiosity among scholars. These structures could have potentially served as symbolic landmarks that honored the royal cult, emphasizing the king's authority in the regions situated to the south. Gregory Marraward, a research associate at the Oriental Institute of the University of Chicago, who spearheaded the excavation at the Edfu Pyramid, expressed astonishment at the remarkable similarities between different pyramids. He noted that there is undoubtedly a shared blueprint among them. On the eastern side of the recently revealed pyramid, Marrawad's team discovered remnants of a structure believed to have been used for making food offerings. This finding is significant in unraveling the purpose of such pyramids, as it offers insight into their functions. The research team also discovered ancient writings carved into the exterior surfaces of the pyramid. These inscriptions were discovered alongside burial sites near the base of the pyramid. The scholars believe that the inscriptions and burials occurred long after the construction of the pyramid, and that the original purpose of the structure was not for burial. The Society for the Study of Egyptian Antiquities recently organized a symposium in Toronto where the preliminary findings of the excavation were shared. In the study, it was mentioned by Marrawar that although the pyramid at Edfu was known by scholars, it had never undergone excavation until his team initiated the work in 2010. The team discovered that the pyramid was concealed beneath a considerable amount of sand, modern debris, and remnants from the looting of its blocks. During the initial observation, it was not immediately recognizable as a pyramid, as stated by the individual. In fact, some residents from a neighboring village speculated that the structure might be the final resting place of a sheikh, a revered figure. However, as the team began the process of clearing the monument, the true nature of the ancient pyramid became apparent. The remarkable transformation is captured in the accompanying photographs, showcasing one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Built of sandstone blocks and clay mortar, it had been constructed in the form of a 3-step pyramid. A core of blocks rises up vertically, with 2 layers of blocks beside it, on top of each other. This made the pyramid look like it had 3 steps. The style is similar to that of a step pyramid built by Djoser, the pharaoh who constructed Egypt's first pyramid at the beginning of the 3rd ancient Egyptian dynasty. The technique is close to that used at the Meidum pyramid, which was built by either Snefru or Huni, and started out as a step pyramid before being turned into a true pyramid. According to Marrawad's study, the construction of the pyramid demonstrates a meticulous attention to detail and a high level of skill in working with stone, particularly when it came to aligning the larger blocks. Marrawad also mentioned that the pyramid was built directly on the natural rock foundation and utilized local materials throughout the entire construction process. In 2011, a quarry containing the sandstone used for the pyramid was discovered, located just 800 meters north of the pyramid itself. The expansion of a contemporary burial ground and community presents a threat to the recently revealed pyramid. To mitigate the risk of additional theft, a barrier has been erected around the monument, with support from the American Research Center in Egypt and the National Endowment for the Humanities providing financial aid. While excavating the pyramid, the team made an intriguing discovery. Intricate carvings adorned the outer sides. These carvings depict various symbols, such as a book scroll, a seated figure, a quadruped creature, a plant leaf, and a bird, all rendered in hieroglyphic form. Marwar explained that inscriptions found near the pyramid's base are predominantly personal and hastily made. Marwar mentioned that his team plans to release further information regarding these burials and accompanying images at a later time. The researchers discovered that around the period of Khufu's rule, the pyramid in Edfu had already been deserted and people had stopped making offerings. This happened within just 5 decades of its construction. It's not known why Imhotep decided to change the shape of the pyramid. The pyramids, which are well-known structures from ancient Egypt, continue to captivate people today. These impressive monuments, built in honor of Egyptian kings, have become symbolic of the country, even though other civilizations like the Chinese and Mayans also constructed pyramids. The origins and development of the pyramid design have been the subject of extensive discussion and analysis over the years. However, it is undeniable that in the context of Egypt, this architectural form began with the step pyramid of Djoser in Saqqara, created by a talented architect. The step pyramid has undergone extensive examination and research in the past century, revealing a complex construction process with several stages and a few initial setbacks. Imhotep initially began constructing a straightforward mastaba tomb, with the tallest mastaba reaching a height of 20 feet. However, Imhotep later chose to increase the height. Investigations have indicated that the pyramid initially took the form of a square mastaba, deviating from the typical rectangular shape before being altered to its final rectangular form. The reasoning behind Imhotep's decision to deviate from the traditional rectangular mastaba shape remains uncertain, but it is possible that he had envisioned a pyramid with a square base from the beginning. The initial mastabas were adorned with inscriptions and engravings depicting reeds, and Imhotep aimed to uphold this tradition. His grand mastaba pyramid would incorporate similar intricate details and symbolic significance as the earlier, smaller tombs. However, the difference was that these features would be carved from stone rather than made from dried mud. Historian Mark van der Meeroop discusses this. Imhotep utilized stone to replicate previous structures that were initially built using different materials. The outer wall of the enclosure featured niches resembling those found in mud brick tombs, while the columns imitated bundles of reed and papyrus. Additionally, stone cylinders strategically placed at the doorways represented rolled-up reed screens. The construction of the central pyramid within the complex involved extensive experimentation, evident in its evolution from several mastaba-like plans to the first-ever step pyramid. This monumental structure comprised of 6 stacked levels, and the builders faced the challenge of supporting its immense weight. To prevent the monument from crumbling, the stones were placed at an inward incline. When completed, the step pyramid rose 204 feet high and was the tallest structure of its time. The surrounding complex included a temple, courtyards, shrines, and living quarters for the priests, covering an area of 40 acres, and surrounded by a wall 30 feet high. The wall had 13 false doors cut into it, with only one true entrance cut in the southeast corner. The entire wall was then ringed by a trench 2,400 feet long and 130 feet wide. The false doors and the trench were incorporated into the complex to discourage unwanted guests. If one wished to visit the inner courtyard and temples, one would have needed to have been told how to enter. The pyramid and its surrounding complex was designed to be stunning and inspire awe. Djoser was so proud of his accomplishment that he broke precedent of having only his own name on a monument and had Imhotep's name carved as well. The complex consists of the Step Pyramid, the House of the North, the House of the South, the Serdab, the Heb-Sed Court, the South Tomb, Temple T, and the Northern Mortuary Temple. All of these, with the surrounding wall, made up a complex the size of a city in ancient Egypt. Djoser's complex, in fact, was larger than the city of Hierakonpolis at the time. The purpose of the House of the North and House of the South is unknown, but it has been speculated they represented Upper and Lower Egypt. The serdab is a limestone box near the northern entrance of the pyramid where a life-sized statue of Djoser was found. This statue would have been of great importance to the soul of the king in the afterlife. The ancient Egyptians believed that the soul comprised 9 aspects, with one of them being the ba, a bird-shaped representation commonly depicted on tomb engravings. It was believed that the ba had the ability to freely travel between the earthly realm and the heavens. However, in order to navigate its way back to its owner's home on Earth, the ba required a recognizable landmark, typically the pyramid with the king's likeness in front of it. By spotting this landmark from high above, the ba could descend, enter the earthly plane, and visit its former home. The significance of Pharaoh's names and images in this belief system lies in the fact that the soul needed to be able to identify and recall its former physical body on Earth in order to rest peacefully in the afterlife. In addition to serving this purpose, the statue of Djoser, the oldest known life-sized Egyptian statue still in existence, was also built at the complex to serve as a reminder of the great king's legacy. A retired Antarctic pilot by the name of John Ingram was presented with an irresistible opportunity. The Antarctic Research Institute invited him back for a special reconnaissance mission over the icy expanse of Antarctica. Intrigued and eager to fly again, he accepted the offer. On a frigid morning, he boarded his old companion, a modified Lockheed C-130 Hercules. The mission was straightforward, to map out some remote regions of Antarctica that satellites had trouble covering. With the seasoned expertise of decades, he piloted the aircraft over the vast, shimmering white landscape. After hours of monotonous icy scenery, a blip on the radar broke the tranquility. It was a mountain, a towering spire of ice and rock, standing solitary amidst the endless white. At its summit was an oddity that puzzled the pilot, a large, perfect circle that radar identified as an opening. He circled around in order to get a better look. His curiosity piqued. The mouth of the cavity was colossal, big enough to fit a football stadium. The pilot estimated the opening was easily over 300 feet in length, big enough to fit a plane inside. Unable to resist the mystery, he decided to descend for a closer look. He expertly maneuvered the aircraft into a daring low-altitude hover, just above the mouth of the mountain. Peering out of the cockpit, he saw the hole wasn't merely an opening. It was an entrance to an expansive cavern, disappearing into the heart of the mountain, shrouded in darkness. Realizing the potential significance of the find, he marked the location on his GPS and took high-resolution photographs. As much as he yearned to explore further, he knew he was not equipped for such an expedition. He ascended back into the sky, his mind racing with possibilities about what could be hidden within the cavern. Upon his return, he presented his findings to the Antarctic Research Institute. The photographs and coordinates sparked an immediate buzz among the researchers. The possibility of an unexplored cavern of such size in Antarctica was an enticing prospect. However, the pilot said that he was told that the discovery wasn't of interest and that an exploration team wouldn't be sent to the location. As the news of the discovery spread, it captivated the team's imagination. Those who knew the pilot said that they eagerly awaited updates on the mysterious hole atop the Antarctic mountain. However, he was told that the discovery wasn't of interest and that no further flights would be made to the mountain. The pilot ended by saying that he still wonders what was inside the cavern that led directly into the mountain. Oddly enough, this isn't the first time that something strange has been found in Antarctica. In the bitter heart of Antarctica, hidden amidst the icy wilderness, is a research station named Aurora Base. It is a scientific outpost tasked with studying the desolate landscape and the hidden secrets of this cold frontier. According to a social media post, one winter, the Aurora team embarked on a new expedition, a journey into the subglacial lakes, which exist under kilometers of ice. Armed with state-of-the-art technology, the team lowered a specialized submersible probe through a borehole in the ice to explore the unseen depths of Lake Vostok. As the probe descended through the ice, its cameras relayed images to the team above. The first signs of life were simple, single-celled organisms. But as Poseidon plunged deeper, it started to transmit pictures of creatures much more complex and bizarre. creatures that defied the known boundaries of life in such extreme conditions. One such creature was a translucent, bioluminescent entity, nearly 2 meters long, undulating gracefully in the frigid darkness. Its otherworldly glow illuminated its surroundings, and the creature seemed to be covered in a constellation of glowing spots. Biologist Dr. Everson, staring at the live feed in awe, said that it's like a living starfield. In the following days, the underwater probe captured images of other unusual life forms. There were organisms with metallic exoskeletons, creatures resembling prehistoric trilobites but much larger, and swarms of neon-colored microorganisms that glowed beautifully under the probe's lights. Each new discovery was a revelation, a testament to life's tenacity and adaptability in Earth's harshest environment. Word of these astonishing discoveries spread across the base. Soon, every eye was glued to the live feed. Everyone held their breath each time the underwater probe descended, eager to see what strange creature it would uncover next. One evening, it encountered something that brought every heart at the base to a standstill. An enormous shadow loomed over the submersible. As it came into focus, a gigantic creature, unlike anything ever seen before, appeared on the screen. It was a massive creature, easily the length of a whale, but unlike any known marine animal. It had multiple bioluminescent appendages and an intricate pattern of glowing lines along its body, casting an ethereal light in the dark abyss. Stunned by the sight of this gargantuan lifeform, the Aurora team realized they had discovered an ecosystem entirely unknown to science, hidden beneath the ice. It was a humbling experience, reminding them of how much more there was to learn about our planet. In the following months, news of the monsters of Lake Vostok reached every corner of the globe. It sparked a renewed interest in Antarctic exploration and the study of extreme environments. To the scientists at Aurora Base, these strange creatures were a beautiful reminder of nature's infinite ability to surprise and astonish us. The Antarctic ice, once thought to be lifeless, now held a world teeming with strange and remarkable life, shattering our understanding of where life can exist and thrive on Earth. Lake Vostok, located beneath the icy surface of Antarctica, is a vast and intriguing enigma for scientists around the world. A giant freshwater lake buried under more than 4 kilometers of ice, Lake Vostok is a testament to the resiliency of life and its ability to adapt to the most extreme environments. Discovered in the 1990s by Russian scientists, Lake Vostok is named after the Russian research station Vostok, which in turn was named after Vostok, a warship that served in the first Antarctic expedition. The lake is one of the largest subglacial lakes in Antarctica, with a size comparable to that of Lake Ontario. Lake Vostok's discovery resulted from the analysis of airborne radar imaging data, which revealed a vast, flat region beneath the ice. Further seismic and gravitational studies confirmed the presence of a liquid water lake. The most fascinating aspect of this lake is its isolation from the rest of the world. For an estimated 15 million years, Lake Vostok has remained sealed off from the rest of the planet, covered by a thick, impermeable sheet of ice. Due to its extreme conditions and isolation, Lake Vostok provides a unique opportunity for researchers. Any life found here has evolved in complete solitude, presenting an intriguing avenue for the study of microbial evolution and climate change. However, the exploration of Lake Vostok presents substantial challenges. Drilling through kilometers of ice to reach the lake without contaminating its pristine environment is a daunting task. The fear of introducing foreign microbes into the lake's ecosystem has led to stringent protocols around drilling and sample collection. In 2012, after more than 2 decades of careful drilling, Russian scientists successfully reached the lake and extracted water samples. The samples revealed the presence of thousands of microbial life forms, suggesting a complex ecosystem thriving in darkness and extreme cold, completely isolated from the outside world. This discovery was a milestone in astrobiology, as it demonstrated life's capability to endure in conditions previously considered inhospitable. Lake Vostok also holds significant potential for the study of Earth's past climate. The ice layers above the lake form a chronological record of the Earth's climate over the past hundreds of thousands of years. Detailed analysis of these layers can provide valuable insights into historical climate changes and potentially inform predictions for future climate trends. Despite the progress made, many mysteries of Lake Vostok remain unsolved. The full extent of its biodiversity, the potential existence of more complex organisms, and its complete geological profile are just a few of the intriguing questions that continue to pique scientific curiosity. Lake Vostok exemplifies the boundless potential for discovery that lies within our own planet. It stands as a reminder of the adaptability of life, even in the harshest conditions. Furthermore, it offers a unique analogue for extraterrestrial environments, such as the icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn. By studying extreme environments like Lake Vostok, we not only uncover more about life's adaptability on Earth, but also increase our understanding of what kind of life we might find beyond our planet. Antarctica, the southernmost continent and site of the South Pole, is a vast icy expanse that has fascinated explorers, scientists, and dreamers alike. It represents one of the last frontiers of human exploration on Earth. However, despite our advances in technology and scientific understanding, Antarctica remains a largely unexplored and impenetrable land for several reasons. To begin with, Antarctica's extreme weather conditions pose a substantial challenge. The continent is the coldest place on Earth, with temperatures in the interior dropping below -80 degrees in winter. These frigid conditions can quickly become life-threatening, even with modern cold weather gear and technology. In addition, Antarctica experiences high wind speeds, commonly known as katabatic winds, reaching up to 200 miles per hour, and unpredictable weather changes, making any exploration venture dangerous. The geography of Antarctica also plays a role in its inaccessibility. Over 98% of its surface is covered by ice, which averages 1.9 kilometers in thickness. This thick ice sheet, coupled with its mountainous terrain, crevasses, and ice shelves, makes navigation challenging. Even with GPS technology, the risk of getting lost or falling into a hidden crevasse is high. Transportation to and within Antarctica is another challenge. The continent is remote, with the shortest distance from the tip of South America to the Antarctic Peninsula being about 1,000 kilometers. There are no commercial flights, and most people arrive via icebreaker ships, which can only operate during the summer months when sea ice is at its minimum. Once on the continent, overland travel is slow and fraught with danger due to the aforementioned crevasses and unpredictable weather conditions. Additionally, the environment's fragility and the global community's commitment to preserving it limit human activity and exploration in Antarctica. The Antarctic Treaty System, a series of international agreements, has designated Antarctica as a scientific preserve and bans any military activity, mineral mining, nuclear testing, and nuclear waste disposal. While these measures do not directly prohibit exploration, they severely limit human presence and activity on the continent, mainly restricting it to scientific research. The lack of infrastructure and human support is another impediment to exploring Antarctica. There are no permanent residents, and the population consists only of a rotating crew of scientists and support staff at research stations scattered across the continent. This means there are no hospitals, no search and rescue services, and limited resources to assist if an emergency arises during exploration. Furthermore, Antarctica's isolation leads to psychological challenges. Explorers must deal with prolonged periods of isolation, confined living conditions, extended periods of darkness in winter, and the lack of familiar comforts. These factors can lead to a range of psychological issues, including polar madness or Antarctic syndrome, characterized by irritability, insomnia, and impaired cognition. Alfred Al Worden, a prominent figure in the annals of space exploration, was a US astronaut best known for his integral role in the Apollo 15 mission. His impressive career, marked by numerous accolades and firsts, reflects the spirit of exploration and scientific discovery. Born in 1932 in Jackson, Michigan, Worden showed an early interest in aviation. After graduating from the US Military Academy at West Point, he joined the US Air Force, where he served as a pilot, ultimately amassing over 4,000 hours of flight time. He later earned master's degrees in astronautical and aeronautical engineering and instrumentation engineering from the University of Michigan, reflecting his commitment to education and his passion for space. Worden was selected for NASA's astronaut group in 1966 during the height of the Apollo program. His initial role involved supporting the Apollo 9 and Apollo 12 missions from the ground, gaining invaluable experience before his assignment as the command module pilot for Apollo 15 in 1971. Apollo 15 was NASA's fourth manned mission to land on the Moon, but unlike the previous missions, it focused more on scientific exploration. Throughout history, the notion that humans were created by advanced beings has served as a source of inspiration for numerous authors and researchers. Despite being considered as far-fetched by mainstream science, a wealth of compelling evidence has been discovered worldwide by researchers to support this theory. Those who believe in this research have said that there's a significant link between the development of civilizations and advanced entities, and that this is evident in the historical accounts preserved in ancient manuscripts and clay tablets that have endured for millennia. During an interview with Good Morning Britain, Al Worden shared intriguing thoughts on the existence of advanced life. In addition to his space exploration endeavors, Worden expressed a belief in the theory that humans have ancestral connections to ancient advanced beings. During a 2017 appearance on the British television program Good Morning Britain, he delivered a surprising response to a question about the justification for spending significant funds on space exploration in the midst of numerous challenges plaguing our planet. Specifically, he was queried about his belief in the existence of advanced life. His unexpected answer likely caught the attention of everyone watching the interview. The ex-Apollo 15 astronaut stated that aliens not only exist, but they also visited Earth in ancient times and played a role in the creation of our civilization. To find evidence supporting this claim, one simply needs to examine ancient Sumerian literature. Based on his statements, he held strong faith in the ancient texts of Sumerian civilization. These scriptures depict a time when humans and deities coexisted, with humans serving as the subjects of the gods, and each Sumerian city having its own divine protector. The oldest known account of a Sumerian creation myth was discovered on a tablet unearthed in Nippur, an ancient Mesopotamian city, in 1893. Based on ancient cuneiform tablets, it is believed that Earth was initially governed by deities who resembled humans. These divine beings, upon their arrival on Earth, transformed the planet into a hospitable environment through agricultural cultivation and mining of valuable resources. Moreover, the tablets make reference to a conflict that arose between the gods and their working class. Al Worden said the following: "We are the aliens, but we just think they are somebody else. But we are the ones who came from somewhere else, because somebody else had to survive, and they got into little spacecrafts, and then they came here and landed, and they started civilization here. And if you don't believe me, go get books on ancient Sumerians and see what they had to say. They'll tell you right up front." End quote. Al Worden passed away shortly after this interview. The ancient Sumerians were not only pioneers in fields such as writing, agriculture, and law, but also held intricate beliefs about the origins of humanity. These beliefs, documented in various myths and religious texts, provide fascinating insights into Sumerian cosmology and their understanding of the world. Sumerian mythology paints a rich and vivid picture of the cosmos. At the beginning, they believed, there existed only the primeval sea, which gave birth to heaven and earth. These cosmic entities in turn bore several deities, forming the Sumerian pantheon. Among these were the Anunnaki, a group of deities who were the primary figures in Sumerian cosmology and were instrumental in the creation of humanity. One of the most crucial texts describing human origins is the myth of Enki and Ninmah. According to this narrative, the gods, burdened by the toil of shaping the earth, implored Enki, the god of wisdom and water, to devise a solution. In response, Enki and the birth goddess Ninmah created humans from clay. These beings were intended to bear the labor of the gods, allowing the divine beings to live in leisure. In these stories, the Sumerians depicted humans as being inherently linked to the divine, yet subordinate to it. We were created from the same earth that the gods had shaped, and our primary function was to serve the divine. The Sumerians believed their cities were owned by gods, and that their kingship descended from heaven, reinforcing this notion of serving the divine. Another Sumerian text, the Eridu Genesis, presents a similar narrative, highlighting the Sumerians' view of a direct relationship between gods and humans. However, it also introduces the concept of a catastrophic flood sent by the gods, where only a few selected individuals are saved, a motif that would recur in later Mesopotamian and Abrahamic traditions. It is important to note that Sumerian myths offer different versions and names regarding the creation of humans, reflecting the city-state-based nature of Sumerian civilization, where local deities and myths held sway. Yet, the common thread running through these narratives is the depiction of humanity's creation as a divine act, and humans as beings intended to serve the gods. Enki, a central figure in ancient Sumerian mythology, is a god renowned for his wisdom, creative power, and association with water. His character and narratives significantly influenced Sumerian cosmology, social structure, and understanding of humanity's purpose. Enki, also known as Ea in Akkadian mythology, was believed to reside in the Abzu, the freshwater sea beneath the earth. As the lord of this subterranean aquatic realm, Enki held dominion over all forms of water, including rivers, wells, and rainfall. This association with life-giving water underpinned his role as a fertility god, vital to agriculture in the Sumerian civilization. Beyond his connection to water, Enki was revered as the god of wisdom and intelligence. He was believed to possess the Mi, divine decrees that formed the foundation of civilization, encompassing elements such as social norms, moral codes, technological knowledge, and arts. Enki's possession of the Mi made him integral to the functioning and maintenance of societal order and progress in Sumerian belief. In the Sumerian creation myth, Enki played a crucial role. As mentioned in the myth Enki and Ninmah, the gods, burdened by the labor of crafting the world, appealed to Enki for a solution. The phenomenon of cattle expirations, characterized by unexplained livestock passing away under inexplicably precise surgical incisions, has been a source of mystery and controversy for decades. Cattle expirations are often associated with rural and remote areas, aligning with where livestock farming is prevalent. The phenomenon is not limited to a single species, affecting a range of livestock, but the prevalence in cattle is likely due to their ubiquity in farming. The expirations are distinguished by their peculiar characteristics, including precise cuts, the removal of specific organs or soft tissue, and the absence of tracks around the carcasses. Authorities have just announced that more cattle have been found across the United States, exhibiting the same injuries as seen in other cases. The perpetrators silenced the cows by taking out their tongues, yet there was no evidence of remains or struggle. Surprisingly, no traces of footprints or tire tracks were discovered. This perplexed investigators as they tried to unravel the mystery surrounding the unidentified individual or group behind these brutal acts in Texas, wondering how they managed to leave no clues behind. In a short period of time, 7 cows were discovered in 3 counties in Texas, all under suspicious conditions. The cows were found lying on one side, with part of their face visible and their tongues missing. The series of cow expirations took place in Madison, Brazos, and Robertson counties, which are situated in east-central Texas. Each cow was targeted from a separate pasture and herd. The Madison County Sheriff's Office reported that a precise and clean incision was made to remove the hide around the cow's mouth on one side, while leaving the untouched meat underneath the removed hide. All 5 cows had been cut with circular incisions, similar to the cuts observed on the jawlines of all the cows. Ranchers have stated that there were no predators or birds that had fed on the remains, which aligns with what is typically observed in comparable incidents. While the exact cause of the cow's demise remains uncertain, these unusual incidents have brought to mind a long-standing theory regarding the unexplained expiration of livestock, dating back to the 1970s in the United States. This theory implicates advanced beings in unidentified aircrafts as the culprits responsible for these mysterious occurrences. During that time, a significant number of animal expirations occurred in at least 7 states in the United States, which caused some to suggest that advanced beings were engaging in attacks and experiments on terrestrial animals. Alternatively, Some individuals believed that these incidents were linked to humans, but those who investigated these claims further noted that there was no evidence of humans being in the area and the use of surgical equipment couldn't be explained. Others have also pointed out that if this was the government, which is a long-believed theory, why wouldn't they raise cattle of their own and do this in private? Why would they risk getting caught out in the open? In 1979, the FBI initiated a comprehensive inquiry into a series of comparable explorations that were occurring in New Mexico. However, an investigation determined that the puzzling explorations of livestock animals, resembling the recent incidents in Texas, were actually attributed to natural predation. The Robertson County Sheriff's Office announced that the autopsy results released identified pneumonia as the cause for one of the cows. However, similar to the findings of the FBI's investigation, the report did not provide any explanation for the injuries sustained by the animal. The Madison County Sheriff's Department stated that they are actively collaborating with other agencies to investigate numerous similar incidents reported throughout the United States. Other ranchers nearby are anxious about the possibility of their cattle being taken out in the same manner. Mark Enlow, a resident of Madison County, resides in the same area where the cattle explorations occurred. He expressed his worry regarding the series of attacks that have taken place recently. He said that he currently has livestock located in close proximity to where these incidents of explorations have occurred, just a few miles away. He explained that he is actively vigilant, monitoring the area and conducting regular inspections throughout the day and night to detect any unusual activities. Enlow mentioned that his neighbor is implementing additional safety measures by installing surveillance cameras around his cattle as a precautionary measure in case he becomes a target in the future. Steve Cole, a close friend of Enlow's and also the Justice of the Peace in Madison County, is facing additional concerns. Recently, one of Cole's cows was discovered under suspicious circumstances, and to this day, no explanation has been given as to what happened. While the cow was not subjected to any surgical cuts, Cole remains uncertain whether these occurrences are interconnected. The Animal Legal Defense Fund is currently offering a reward of $5,000 in exchange for any valuable information that can assist in the identification, arrest, and conviction of the individuals involved in the unfortunate demise of these cows. As of right now, though, there's still many unanswered questions about who is behind these explorations. Oddly enough, some farmers have come forward and detailed that they've witnessed strange lights above their cattle, only to find them not moving the following morning. The phenomenon of unidentified objects, now commonly referred to as unidentified aerial phenomena, has sparked intrigue and skepticism in equal measure since the term was first coined in the 1950s. Rural areas, including pastures and farmland, provide the backdrop for a significant number of mysterious aircraft encounters. The solitude, low light pollution, and unobstructed sightlines typical of these environments may contribute to the prevalence of sightings. Furthermore, the rural backdrop contributes to the air of mystery surrounding these accounts. One of the most notable instances of a mysterious sighting above a farmland occurred back in 1979, when a Scottish farmer named Robert Taylor encountered a strange object in a woodland area near Livingston, West Lothian. The event, known as the Robert Taylor Incident, remains one of the most famous cases worldwide due to the physical evidence left behind, specifically imprints in the ground and damage to Taylor's clothing, elements not commonly associated with mysterious sightings. The American Midwest, with its expansive farmlands, is another hotspot for sightings. Notably, the mysterious case that happened in 1957 when multiple witnesses across small Texas towns reported seeing a brightly lit, egg-shaped object and experiencing unexplained vehicle disturbances. The reports were deemed credible due to the independent yet consistent descriptions of the event. Analyzing why mysterious aircrafts appear above farmland has sparked several theories, many of which draw on the characteristics of rural life. One postulates that advanced life may be studying agricultural practices, a crucial aspect of human civilization. Another theory suggests that mysterious aircrafts utilize remote areas to avoid detection and limit interaction with human populations. A strategic move if one assumes these sightings are driven by observational or exploratory intentions. Despite the intrigue and anecdotal accounts, skepticism remains. Critics argue that misinterpretations of natural or man-made phenomena, like aircraft, drones, or even meteorological events, are often mistaken for unidentified aircrafts. Scientific investigations often lean towards debunking such sightings or attributing them to explainable occurrences. Yet, some cases remain unresolved, keeping the door open to the possibility that something unknown may be involved. As mentioned, in the 1970s, ranchers across the nation started noticing an unusual phenomenon. They discovered their livestock, specifically cows, expired under mysterious circumstances. Historian Michael J. Goldman delved into this perplexing situation and said that these incidents were unrelated to mysterious aircrafts. According to Goldman, the occurrences of cattle expirations started in 1973, primarily in the western and midwestern regions. These incidents were mainly reported by small-scale ranchers. Upon investigation by local law enforcement, it was commonly discovered that various parts of the cow had been removed with precise surgical precision. Newspaper reports indicate that by the end of the decade, over 10,000 of these occurrences had taken place. There have been suggestions from certain sources indicating that the expirations could potentially be linked to a covert government initiative aimed at conducting trials for biological weapons. There were various speculations in the news regarding the involvement of mysterious aircrafts, but among ranchers, the prevailing belief was that the government was involved. Some individuals proposed that the livestock expirations were linked to a covert government initiative testing biological weapons. Additionally, there were accounts of unmarked helicopters observed near the locations of these incidents, with some ranchers even claiming to have been pursued by these aircraft. In a few instances, outraged ranchers took action and fired at government helicopters. The seriousness of the situation prompted the Nebraska National Guard to adjust their flight altitude from 1,000 feet to 2,000 feet during their exercises. To understand the cause of the panic, Goldman proposes that we take into account the circumstances. In the early 1970s, ranchers faced challenging conditions. Firstly, they perceived federal environmental conservation efforts as a threat, including restrictions on grazing in public areas. Additionally, the combination of high inflation rates and the government's significant grain purchases to address global food shortages led to increased feed prices. Furthermore, the Nixon administration implemented a meat price freeze. This entire situation, commonly referred to as the wreck, disproportionately affected small ranches without the same lobbying power as larger operations. When organizations like the Colorado Bureau of Investigation investigated the instances of cattle expirations and discovered no evidence of human participation, certain ranchers began to suspect that it might be another instance of governmental wrongdoing. In reality, the notion of government involvement was not entirely unreasonable. Considering that the army unintentionally caused the passing of over 4,500 sheep during nerve agent testing in Utah in 1968 and only admitted responsibility in 1998, there is historical precedent for such suspicions. However, according to Goldman, it is highly likely that the majority of the expirations were actually caused by scavengers such as coyotes, magpies, and badgers. These scavengers typically consume soft tissues first. So, without the sensational aspect, the random expiration of cows on ranches were not unusual. The lack of familiarity among law enforcement officials with scavengers' behavior may have led them to describe the removal of bovine body parts in a way that implied human involvement. This, in turn, may have influenced early media reports and prompted other ranchers to report similar expirations. However, veterinarians and large-scale ranchers remained skeptical from the outset. Since the mid-20th century, reports of unidentified objects have frequently coincided with unexplained cattle anomalies. The latter typically manifest as cattle expirations, where livestock are found deceased with inexplicable surgical precision in their injuries, and a seeming disregard for natural predation or human foul play. The geographical correlation between cattle and mysterious sightings is noteworthy. Many unexplained aircraft encounters occur in rural and remote areas, where large herds of cattle are often found. These areas provide both the solitude and unobstructed sightlines favorable for unidentified sightings. The overlap might suggest a connection, although it could also merely be a consequence of incidental geography. The prevalent theory to explain this connection posits that advanced beings may be conducting biological experiments or research on Earth's fauna, with cattle serving as convenient, widespread, and relatively isolated test subjects. Cattle, being a crucial part of human agriculture and diet, would offer advanced civilizations valuable insights into Earth's biosphere and human society. Moreover, the specific nature of the explorations, often characterized by the removal of soft tissue and the draining of fluids, suggests a level of scientific investigation. However, these unexplained phenomena often ignore conventional wisdom about the handling of biological specimens. For instance, the absence of blood at the scene is often reported, an anomaly that fuels the advanced hypothesis yet contradicts known methods of biological sampling. This theory, while intriguing, is not without criticism. Skeptics argue that the explorations could be the result of natural predation or scavenging, misinterpreted due to the absence of traditional wildlife marks. Additionally, the reported precision of the explorations could be inflated by sensationalism or misperception, and the lack of remains may be attributable to common post-mortem processes. This mysterious photograph has just been posted on social media, showing what appears to be a massive object hovering close to the moon. Oddly enough, this isn't the first time that mysterious objects have been seen close to the moon, and it's caused some users to suggest that this may be an unidentified object. Those who've studied the unknown have reported that the moon is a hotspot, and that every year thousands of mysterious objects can be seen close to it. Unidentified objects have sparked intrigue and controversy for decades. Although they are most commonly associated with sightings in Earth's atmosphere, numerous accounts over the years have reported unidentified objects in the proximity of Earth's natural satellite, the Moon. Reports of mysterious aircrafts near the Moon have been made by astronauts, astronomers, and casual observers alike. The Moon's relative proximity, combined with its lack of atmosphere, makes it a perfect backdrop for observing anomalies. Often, these observations are of unexpected objects moving across the lunar surface or near the lunar horizon. There are multiple reasons that could potentially explain these sightings. Firstly, it is essential to clarify that many sightings can be explained by natural or man-made phenomena. For example, satellites and space debris in Earth's orbit could easily be mistaken for unidentified objects when they pass between an observer and the Moon. Another explanation could be related to optical illusions or misinterpretations of natural lunar phenomena. The human brain is predisposed to identify patterns, even where none exist, a phenomenon known as pareidolia. This could lead to interpreting shadows or irregular lunar features as foreign objects. Lunar transient phenomena, temporary changes in the lunar surface's appearance due to outgassing or impacts, might also be misinterpreted as mysterious activity. Despite these potential explanations, some argue that a subset of lunar sightings cannot be easily dismissed. Astronauts of Apollo missions have reported seeing flashing lights and other unexplained phenomena during their lunar voyages. While some of these instances were likely attributable to cosmic rays hitting their retinas, others remain unexplained. Notably, though, none of the Apollo missions reported sightings that would unequivocally indicate the presence of advanced crafts. In the broader context, the attention given to sightings near the Moon reflects humanity's enduring fascination with the possibility of advanced life. It's a curiosity that drives not only the passionate debates over individual sightings, but also more substantial scientific endeavors, like the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. As we continue to explore our universe, the question of extraterrestrial life remains one of the most compelling unsolved mysteries of our time. As of right now, while most mysterious objects seen close to the lunar surface can be attributed to man-made or natural phenomena, some instances remain unexplained, contributing to ongoing discussions about advanced life. These sightings underscore the importance of vigilant observation and open-minded inquiry as we continue our exploration of the cosmos. Whether these unexplained instances are evidence of extraterrestrial civilizations, however, remains to be proven. As of now, the extraordinary claim of extraterrestrial presence in our cosmic neighborhood still requires extraordinary evidence. The quest for understanding the unknown has always propelled humanity's foray into space. Astronauts, as the frontiersmen of this cosmic voyage, have occasionally reported encounters with unidentified objects, spurring fascination and debate. Astronauts from various space missions have reported encountering objects or phenomena that they could not readily identify. Perhaps the most famous of these is the account of the Apollo 11 mission. Buzz Aldrin, the lunar module pilot, reported seeing a light that seemed to be following their spacecraft en route to the moon. However, after careful analysis, it was concluded that what they were likely seeing was sunlight reflecting off an adapter panel jettisoned earlier in the mission. Similarly, during the STS-48 mission of the Space Shuttle Discovery, video footage captured several objects moving in unusual paths. While some enthusiasts interpret this as evidence of advanced activity, NASA scientists maintain that the objects were small ice particles disturbed by the shuttle's thrusters. Astronaut Gordon Cooper also reported a sighting during his Mercury mission in 1963. He claimed to have seen a greenish object approach his capsule, which was also picked up by the tracking station in Australia. However, no conclusive evidence has emerged to identify the object. Furthermore, space agencies like NASA conduct rigorous follow-up investigations to identify any unexplained phenomena. Often, these investigations provide plausible explanations, although in some cases, like Cooper's sightings, the phenomena remain unexplained. In a broader context, these astronaut accounts emphasize the importance of open inquiry and the need for rigorous, evidence-based investigation in our exploration of space. Every unknown object or phenomenon represents a potential opportunity for new discoveries, whether about our own technology, the nature of space, or possibly even advanced life. The International Space Station, an orbiting laboratory for international collaborative research, has become an unexpected focal point in discussions surrounding unidentified objects. Reports of sightings around the International Space Station have abounded since the station's inception, fueled by both astronaut accounts and public access to live feed cameras on the International Space Station. The sightings range from unexpected light phenomena to objects appearing to move in intelligent ways. It's speculated that if these mysterious objects are indeed evidence of advanced life, their interest could stem from a desire to understand our level of technological development, much like how we would be intrigued by alien technology. The International Space Station represents a significant achievement in human technology and international cooperation, making it an intriguing subject for observation from an outsider's perspective. It's where we conduct research in various disciplines, including biology, physics, and astronomy. Advanced civilizations might be interested in monitoring our progress, particularly as the International Space Station represents our most advanced foothold in space to date. Software artifacts or glitches in the live feed can also create the illusion of unexplained phenomena. For instance, abrupt cuts in the live feed, often claimed to be deliberate attempts by NASA to hide evidence of these aircrafts, are usually due to loss of signal or transitions between different cameras. That said, some sightings in the vicinity of the International Space Station do remain unexplained and are cause for scientific curiosity.
Elon Musk's first human colony on Mars would have to survive on a vegan diet. It could not be anything more like a movie. Elon Musk recently announced that future Martians will survive by growing their own food in solar-powered hydroponic glass dome farms. As a result, meat will not be on the menu, and these first people on Mars will have to survive on a completely vegan diet. Musk does say, at least for the moment, that it will likely only be the first 100 people on Mars who are limited to fully vegan cuisine, owing simply to the extremely high levels of power which will be required to run and maintain the self-sustaining farms, combined with the obviously limited resources. For example, a study written by John Strickland from the National Space Society outlined the fact that you would halve the number of people domes could sustain if they also required meat and fish compared to a vegan diet. Similarly, it is also thought that if people did stick to a plant-only diet, a 0.3 square mile farm with 4 levels to it could feed a colony of approximately 5,000. However, Musk does not foresee glass domes being the story of life on Mars forever. and rather suggests them to be a form of temporary habitats for the first cohort of people to help develop more permanent infrastructure on the red planet. With Starship, the Mars rocket, looking highly likely to be ready for its first test orbit sometime this year, the possibility of life on Mars is becoming increasingly real. Therefore, preparing for other logistical details, such as how to then survive once you have reached Mars, will be the next groundbreaking research needed in the field to continue expanding our horizons, quite literally. Plans for life on Mars are wide and varied. China, United States, and the United Arab Emirates all have plans to succeed at cracking human travel to Mars by 2040, and the UAE has gone so far as to plan future civilization on the red planet. However, Musk is currently making headway and has the most aggressive plan, aiming to get a human crew to Mars by 2026 and an established thriving city by 2050. With international involvement creating even more competition and incentive to be the first to Mars and first to facilitate life on Mars too.
The Grand Canyon, with its awe-inspiring beauty and geological marvels, has long captured the imagination of explorers and adventurers. It is a place of mystery and wonder, where the secrets of the Earth's ancient past are etched into the layers of rock. Among the many tales and legends associated with the Grand Canyon is the intriguing story of an underground city of giants hidden within its depths. According to the legend, a group of explorers in the early 20th century stumbled upon an entrance to a vast underground city while navigating the rugged terrain of the Grand Canyon. They claimed that the entrance, concealed behind a massive rock formation, led them into an otherworldly realm inhabited by a race of giants. The explorers described the giants as towering beings, measuring over 10 feet in height, with extraordinary strength and advanced technology. The story of the underground city of giants in the Grand Canyon has captivated the imaginations of many, fueling speculation and curiosity about its existence. Explorers reported encountering large human-like creatures dwelling within the caves, with one of the members saying that at one point, the creatures started to throw rocks at them. The allure of hidden civilizations, particularly ones associated with giants or other extraordinary beings, taps into our fascination with the unknown and our yearning for extraordinary discoveries. As they ventured deeper into the labyrinthine canyons, they stumbled upon an entrance concealed behind a large rock. Stepping through the hidden entrance, the explorers found themselves in a vast underground chamber, filled with an otherworldly glow. The air was thick with a mysterious energy, and the walls shimmered with an ethereal luminescence. As they cautiously explored the cavern, they noticed strange markings and symbols etched into the walls, noting that it was a language they couldn't decipher. As they delved deeper into the underground city, their amazement grew. Gigantic stone structures towered above them, hinting at an advanced civilization that once thrived within these underground chambers. The corridors seemed built for beings of colossal size, with ceilings so high they disappeared into darkness. The explorers couldn't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder, as if they had stepped into a hidden realm of giants. The more they explored, the more they discovered evidence of a sophisticated society. They found remnants of giant tools and artifacts, intricately crafted with meticulous precision. The sheer scale of everything they encountered left them humbled and intrigued. As the explorers ventured further, they stumbled upon an enormous chamber that seemed to serve as a meeting place or communal area. Emerging from the shadows were beings of colossal proportions, giants in every sense of the word. The explorers stood frozen, in awe and disbelief at the sight before them. The team reported that they quickly left the cavern, not wanting to overstay their welcome. Oddly enough, this isn't the first time that explorers have come forward with a story like this. The Grand Canyon itself is a place of immense geological significance, with layers of rock representing millions of years of Earth's history. The vastness and complexity of the canyon invite speculation and ignite the imagination. The presence of natural formations, caves, and intricate rock structures within the canyon's depths further add to the mystique and potential for hidden secrets. While the legend of an underground city of giants may be devoid of scientific evidence, It serves as a reminder of the enduring human curiosity about the mysteries of our planet. The quest for hidden civilizations and lost worlds has inspired countless explorers and adventurers throughout history. It drives us to delve deeper into the unknown, pushing the boundaries of our understanding and seeking answers to questions that have eluded us for centuries. The allure of the underground city of giants in the Grand Canyon serves as a reminder that there is still much to be explored and discovered in our world. The vastness of our planet, with its uncharted territories and unexplored depths, leaves room for the imagination to run wild. It encourages us to embrace the spirit of exploration and curiosity, to push the boundaries of knowledge, and to remain open to the possibility of unexpected discoveries. While legends and myths may not always align with scientific facts, they have an important role in shaping our cultural narratives and igniting our imagination. The Grand Canyon, a geological marvel and one of the most iconic natural landmarks in the United States, has long been a subject of fascination and exploration. While the vast majority of the canyon's surface has been explored and mapped, there is still much to discover beneath the surface. Hidden within the depths of the Grand Canyon are undiscovered cave networks, mysterious subterranean passages that hold the potential for remarkable scientific and exploratory findings. The rugged and complex geology of the Grand Canyon offers a favorable environment for the formation of caves. Over millions of years, the relentless forces of erosion, water, and chemical processes have shaped the limestone and other soluble rock formations, creating an intricate network of underground chambers and passages. These caves, hidden from view, remain largely untouched and unexplored, holding secrets that could shed light on the geological history of the region and potentially harbor unique ecosystems. Exploring the undiscovered cave networks in the Grand Canyon presents significant challenges. The vastness and ruggedness of the canyon make it difficult to access and navigate these hidden chambers. The treacherous terrain, steep cliffs, and remote locations pose logistical challenges for cave explorers. Additionally, the delicate nature of these underground environments requires careful consideration and conservation efforts to minimize human impact and preserve their pristine condition. Despite the challenges, there have been intriguing discoveries that hint at the existence of undiscovered cave networks in the Grand Canyon. Anecdotal reports and occasional glimpses of hidden passages by hikers, scientists, and explorers have fueled the belief that there is much more to be uncovered beneath the surface. These accounts, while tantalizing, serve as a reminder of the mysteries that lie hidden within this geological wonder. The exploration of these cave networks could provide valuable insights into the geological processes that shaped the Grand Canyon. By studying the formations, mineral deposits, and sedimentary layers found within the caves, scientists could gain a deeper understanding of the canyon's formation and its evolution over millions of years. This knowledge could contribute to our understanding of Earth's geologic history and shed light on the forces that shape our planet. Undiscovered cave networks in the Grand Canyon also offer the potential for significant biological discoveries. Caves are known to harbor unique ecosystems, often characterized by specialized organisms adapted to the dark and isolated conditions. These caves could be home to species that have adapted to thrive in the challenging subterranean environment. The discovery of new species or the identification of relict populations of rare and endangered organisms could have important implications for conservation efforts and our understanding of biodiversity. The exploration of undiscovered cave networks in the Grand Canyon could also have cultural and historical significance. Native American tribes have long held spiritual and cultural connections to the Grand Canyon, and the discovery of caves and associated artifacts could provide valuable insights into their history and traditions. Additionally, the caves may contain archaeological remains or evidence of ancient human habitation, shedding light on the early human presence in the region. To ensure responsible exploration and preservation of the undiscovered cave networks in the Grand Canyon, a balanced approach is necessary. Careful planning, adherence to ethical guidelines, and collaboration between scientists, conservationists, and indigenous communities are crucial. Any exploration efforts should prioritize conservation, minimizing disturbance to fragile ecosystems and cultural sites, and respecting the spiritual significance of the canyon to Native American tribes. The Grand Canyon, with its vast expanse and rugged terrain, is not only a breathtaking natural wonder, but also a place of mystery and intrigue. While it attracts millions of visitors each year, it is also known for its unforgiving nature and the occasional disappearance of individuals who venture into its depths. The number of people who go missing in the Grand Canyon is a topic of concern and curiosity, highlighting the challenges and risks associated with exploring this majestic landscape. While the Grand Canyon is a popular destination for outdoor enthusiasts and adventure seekers, it is important to recognize that its sheer size and ruggedness can pose significant risks. Each year, a small number of individuals unfortunately become disoriented, encounter accidents, or face unexpected challenges that result in their disappearance. The harsh environment, extreme temperatures, treacherous terrain, and limited access to emergency services contribute to the complexities of search and rescue operations. It is difficult to determine the exact number of people who go missing in the Grand Canyon each year, as comprehensive and up-to-date data is not readily available. The National Park Service, responsible for managing the Grand Canyon National Park, keeps records of incidents and search and rescue operations. However, these numbers may not capture all cases, as some missing person reports might fall under the jurisdiction of local law enforcement agencies or tribal authorities. Despite the challenges in obtaining precise figures, it is evident that the number of missing persons in the Grand Canyon is relatively low compared to the vast number of visitors it receives annually. The National Park Service and other agencies involved in search and rescue operations work diligently to locate and assist individuals who find themselves in distress. They employ various techniques, including air and ground searches, as well as collaboration with local law enforcement, volunteer groups, and specialized teams with expertise in wilderness rescue. The Grand Canyon's remote and rugged nature poses unique challenges in search and rescue operations. The vastness of the area, coupled with its intricate and often treacherous terrain, can make locating missing individuals a daunting task. The search efforts require extensive resources, including trained personnel, specialized equipment, and a coordinated approach to maximize the chances of a successful outcome. However, even with these efforts, not all cases result in a positive resolution, and some missing persons are never found. It is crucial for visitors to the Grand Canyon to exercise caution and prepare adequately before embarking on any outdoor activities. This includes informing others of their plans, staying on designated trails, carrying appropriate safety gear, and being aware of the potential hazards and challenges that the environment presents. Additionally, visitors should be mindful of their physical abilities and limitations, as well as the potential impact of weather conditions, especially during extreme heat or flash flood events. The National Park Service and other relevant organizations continue to work on raising awareness about the importance of responsible outdoor exploration and the risks associated with venturing into the Grand Canyon's vast wilderness. They provide educational resources, visitor guidelines, and safety information to help mitigate the potential for accidents and incidents. By promoting preparedness, caution, and respect for the natural environment, they aim to reduce the number of incidents and improve visitor safety. As of right now, while the exact number of people who go missing in the Grand Canyon each year is difficult to ascertain, it is clear that the vast majority of visitors safely enjoy the wonders of this natural marvel. Nonetheless, the unique and challenging environment of the Grand Canyon demands respect, caution, and preparedness from those who choose to explore it. Through ongoing efforts in search and rescue operations, education, and visitor safety guidelines, organizations strive to enhance visitor safety and mitigate the risks associated with this extraordinary landscape. In recent years, there have been observed instances of marine life, including orcas, swimming closer to shore and even entering shallow waters. This behavior has raised questions and sparked curiosity about why these animals are venturing into new territories. Beginning at the end of May 2023, fishermen and residents living close to the shore have observed pods of orcas swimming towards the shore, with those who've studied the creatures saying that their behavior seems different. One factor that could contribute to the movement of marine life towards land is the impact of human activities on their natural habitats. Human-induced disturbances, such as noise pollution from shipping vessels, offshore construction, and recreational boating, can disrupt the normal behavior and communication patterns of marine animals. In response to these disturbances, some marine species may seek refuge in quieter and more sheltered areas, including nearshore waters. This behavior allows them to avoid the excessive noise and disturbances associated with human activities and find temporary respite. One theory that's been put forward is that the Navy might be carrying out sonar tests. The impact of Navy sonar on marine life, particularly whales, dolphins, and other cetaceans, has been a topic of concern and scientific research for many years. Navy sonar systems emit intense underwater sound waves, which can have significant effects on marine animals, their behavior, and their overall well-being. One of the main concerns regarding Navy sonar is its potential to cause harm to marine mammals. The intense sound waves produced by sonar can disrupt the normal behavior of marine animals, including feeding and communication. Whales and dolphins rely heavily on sound for communication, navigation, and hunting, and exposure to loud sonar signals can disorient them, leading to behavioral changes, including altered migration patterns, strandings, and even physical injuries. For example, studies have shown that beaked whales, which are highly sensitive to sound, have exhibited strong avoidance responses to sonar exposure, leading to mass strandings. Furthermore, research has indicated that Navy sonar can have physiological effects on marine animals. The intense underwater sound can cause hearing loss and damage to the auditory systems of cetaceans. Studies have shown that some species, such as dolphins and killer whales, have suffered from temporary or permanent hearing loss as a result of exposure to sonar. This can have long-lasting consequences for their ability to communicate, navigate, and find food, ultimately affecting their survival in the wild. In response to these concerns, efforts have been made to mitigate the impacts of Navy sonar on marine life. The implementation of environmental impact assessments has become standard practice to evaluate the potential effects of sonar operations on marine animals. These assessments help identify areas of high biological importance and establish mitigation measures, such as avoiding critical habitats or adjusting sonar settings to reduce the intensity and duration of sound emissions. In some cases, real-time monitoring of marine mammal activity is employed, allowing sonar operations to be suspended if animals are detected within a certain range. These measures aim to minimize the impact of sonar on marine life and promote the coexistence of military activities and the preservation of marine ecosystems. Furthermore, technological advancements have been made to develop quieter sonar systems that emit lower intensity sounds, reducing the potential harm to marine animals. Low-frequency active sonar systems, for example, have been modified to emit less intense signals while maintaining their effectiveness in military operations. These advancements represent a step towards balancing the needs of national security with the protection of marine biodiversity. It is important to bear in mind that the issue of Navy sonar and its impact on marine life is complex and multifaceted. While efforts have been made to address the concerns and minimize harm, there is still ongoing research and debate surrounding the long-term effects of sonar on marine ecosystems. Scientists continue to study the impacts of sonar on different species, as well as the cumulative effects of multiple stressors, such as climate change, pollution, and habitat loss, on marine life. According to the newly adopted alternative by the Navy, and given approval by the Fisheries Service in October 2020, it is possible that raucous naval exercises may cause disruptions to the endangered orcas in the region. These orcas rely on sound to hunt salmon and communicate, and they may face up to 51 such disturbances within a year. Advocates for the orcas argue that their endangered population, consisting of only 73 whales in this region, can be negatively impacted by even short interruptions to their regular patterns. Nora Nickham, from the Seattle Aquarium, commented that activities such as eating, breathing, and nursing their calves are of utmost importance, especially for the southern orcas who are currently facing food scarcity. The unavailability of salmon, coupled with noise and disturbance, further complicates their situation. Nora Nickham says that they acknowledge the importance of Navy training and testing, but feel that the Navy has the ability and responsibility to modify such activities to safeguard the highly endangered orcas. According to marine mammal biologist Tim Ragan of Anacortes, the Navy must contribute to the protection of highly endangered species, especially the southern resident orcas during its exercises. He suggests that the Navy should find alternative locations where these exercises can be conducted without harming these species. As of right now, the Navy have said that they're not going to stop their sonar tests, but have admitted that it's been shown to have significant effects on marine life, particularly whales, dolphins, and other cetaceans. The intense sound waves emitted by sonar can disrupt the behavior, communication, and overall well-being of these animals, with potential consequences for their survival. However, efforts have been made to mitigate these impacts through the implementation of environmental assessments, real-time monitoring, and the development of quieter sonar systems. Ongoing research and technological advancements are crucial in striking a balance between national security needs and the protection of marine biodiversity. Ultimately, a collaborative approach involving scientists, policymakers, and military authorities is essential to ensure the sustainable coexistence of naval activities and the conservation of marine ecosystems. The United States government is well known for conducting a wide variety of strange research experiments. Many of these are described as being on the cutting edge of scientific advancement, and this has led to incredible breakthroughs in medicine, computer technology, agriculture, and a wide variety of additional fields used across the military. However, oddly enough, there seems to be a recently declassified government experiment that was approved for release back in 2003, surrounding the training of psychic soldiers and enhancements to the brain known as the Gateway Process Experience experiments. The declassified document, titled Analysis and Assessment of Gateway Process, seems to be a written memo between a United States Army researcher at the CIA and sent to a U.S. Army operational commander located out of Fort Meade. The subject of the memo seems to have been the analysis surrounding the legitimacy of the Gateway Process study, as the researcher writes the following in an opening statement. "You tasked me to provide an assessment of the Gateway experience in terms of its mechanics and ultimate practicality. Most likely, the United States government was unaware of what the Gateway process really entailed, and so sent an independent researcher to the experimentation areas to undergo the process and learn if there was any legitimacy to the study in the first place for continued funding. However, within the first paragraph of the document, the researcher makes a special note to include that the Gateway process was a technique designed by Itzhak Bentov, stating the following. Based on conversations with a physician who took the Gateway training with me, I had recourse to the biomedical models developed by Itzhak Bentov to obtain information concerning the physical aspects of the process. For those that are not aware, Itzhak Bentov was a leading Israeli researcher, known for his incredible contributions in the creation of patents for the steerable heart catheter, ECG electrodes, pacemaker leads, and a number of other patents that would help to form the Boston Scientific Meditech Corporation. Itzhak Bentov was also known for his contributions to the Israeli Defense Force, being one of the lead inventors on the Israeli missile project, as well as many other improvised weapons. What many are not aware of surrounding the Israeli inventor was his devout belief and following in the mystical side of consciousness, which would lead to his primary contributions to the Gateway process experiment. John Abel, Bentov's fellow business partner, was once quoted as saying the following: "I was interested in how the brain worked and actually attached electrodes to his head, which were connected to a function generator in which he could change the wave shape and the power, and learned about how the brain interprets these different frequencies." The document then goes into the breakdown of what the Gateway process holds, with the first explanation from the researcher being in regards to the human body's natural frequencies of the brain and the frequency following response. According to the study, a form of enlightenment can be triggered in a person's mind when both hemispheres of the brain begin operating at the same frequency, allowing them to communicate without any form of distraction and leading to a heightened state of focus. Although it requires a number of different techniques to reach this state, the main contributing factor in the study was a device that relied on the human body's natural frequency response. In the document, the researcher details the following statement. To achieve synchronization of brain hemispheres, the hemisync technique takes advantage of a phenomenon known as the frequency following response, which means that if a subject hears a sound produced at a frequency which emulates one of those associated with the operation of the human brain, the brain will try to mimic the same frequency pattern by adjusting its brainwave output. Therefore, if the subject is in a fully awake state, but hears sound frequencies which approximates brainwave output at the theta level, the subject's brain will endeavor to alter its brainwave pattern from the normal beta to the theta level. Additional techniques for reaching a syncing of the hemispheres include assisted hypnosis from a psychologist, as well as techniques that match transcendental meditation practices, with a note stating that gurus who have practiced transcendental meditation practices for 20 years have the ability to reach a hemisphere sync for up to 15 minutes at a time without any form of assistance technologically. According to the document, this training lasts about 7 days before a person is capable of reaching a hemisphere sync frequency with the assistance of technology, and is capable of furthering the study with tasks related to skill in the gateway process experience techniques. The first task that is given to the trained subject is that of problem solving. When under the influence of synced hemispheres, a subject can call upon its higher self for assistance in solving problems, with the higher self representing a form of unfiltered subconscious that can remember everything ever taught to the subject and use it for perfect creativity and logical deduction. The document details that this ability can be used to solve personal difficulties, technical problems in the realm of physics, mathematics, science, practical administrative problems, and so on. In a way, turning the brain into an instantly responding and calculating computer that can analyze and process information at a much faster rate than normal. The second task that is given to the trained subject is referred to as an energy bar tool. The subject is then required to visualize and focus different forms of energy throughout its body, being fed by the universe to allow the body to undergo rapid healing processes. This could mean that with increased focus on the mind, the brain can suddenly consciousness force autonomous physical processes, such as healing and heart rate, with ease. The third, and usually described as the final task for most of the subjects, is referred to by the researchers of the gateway process experience as remote viewing, although is not similar to traditional remote viewing noted by psychics, to see distant locations using astral projection. Instead, the technique requires the subject to visualize and access parts of their memory, and begin to holographically portray the memory in such a way as to allow the person to relive memories with perfect total recall. The researcher writing the document then notes that this is typically where the training and ability of most of the subjects end up, and that less than 5% of the participants are able to move past these skills into the realm of impossible to understand psychic abilities. The document then details the following: the ability known as Focus 21, the future. The last and most advanced of all the focus states associated with the Gateway training program involves movement outside of the boundaries of time-space, as in Focus 15, but with attention to discovering the future rather than the past. The individual who has achieved this state has reached a truly advanced level. The research document then goes on to state that the ability to travel into the future is accomplished only after a subject is able to master an out-of-body experience. This occurs when the natural brain frequency of the hemispheres are synced and then reach a matching frequency with the background electromagnetic phenomenon of the universe, allowing consciousness to imprint itself and begin to leave its body and journey out into the rest of the world. Picking up electromagnetic information similar to how a radio captures radio waves and how our eyes capture photons to imprint an image of our surrounding environment. Once this information begins to pour into the consciousness of a person, they can then begin the process of astral projection that will allow them to speed up time and look into the future, as well as deep within the past at moments that their memory would not be able to access. There is a sound, rational basis in terms of physical science parameters for considering the gateway process experience to be plausible in terms of its essential objectives of heightened brain activity. Additionally, the document seems to hold several pages involving a new scientific theory as to the formation of the universe as a massive three-dimensional toroid, helping to explain why certain parts of the universe seem to be moving at faster speeds compared to others, as evidence of this donut shape moving the mass of galaxies back down and around to the other side of the universe. The document then ends with the researcher stating that the gateway process experience should be provided to all members of the organization for heightened mental ability, and goes on to suggest a 12-step plan as to how to provide the gateway training to all members of the organization. The memo then states that the training could open up members of the gateway process to be attacked by intelligent energy beings if the boundaries of time and space are continually surpassed. The document states the following: subjects must be intellectually prepared to react to possible encounters with intelligent, non-corporal energy forms when time-space boundaries are exceeded. With additional statements that perhaps practical use of the gateway process experience could be used to gather information from such entities and the universal consciousness. The vast and biodiverse Amazon rainforest, with its dense canopy and remote locations, has been the stage for numerous mysterious encounters. Among these intriguing phenomena are reported sightings of unidentified objects above the rainforest's expanse. Over the years, individuals exploring or residing near the Amazon rainforest have reported sightings of strange objects in the sky. Witnesses have described unusual lights, disc-shaped crafts, and aerial maneuvers that defy conventional explanations. These accounts often come from indigenous communities, whose deep connection with nature and spiritual beliefs make them keen observers of their surroundings. One user by the name of Carlos was using Google Earth to explore the Amazon rainforest. While using the app, something caught his attention. He described it as a glowing object, brighter than anything else that could be seen in the area. Confused as to what the object was, he took a screenshot in order to capture this otherworldly spectacle. He said that the object appeared to be made up of several lights, noting that nothing else in the area matched its size and shape. Carlos noted that the unidentified object appeared to be defying the laws of physics, as it appeared to be hovering motionless in the sky. Due to there being no motion blur, he said it was likely that the object was stationary when the photograph was taken. Driven by an insatiable curiosity, Carlos followed the luminous trail of the object, but noted that this was the only one in the area. Interestingly, after doing research online about mysterious lights that had been witnessed above the Amazon rainforest, Carlos found himself engrossed in an interview with an elderly shaman named Kavi. Kavi shared tales passed down through generations about these enigmatic lights. According to their oral traditions, the glowing objects were believed to be messengers from celestial realms, guiding and protecting the rainforest. The villagers revered these sightings as sacred, interpreting them as a sign of harmony between their world and the mysterious forces beyond. As of right now, there's not much information that can be gathered from this photograph, but what makes this phenomenon interesting is the fact that strange lights have been reported in this area now for several decades. Numerous theories attempt to explain the presence of mysterious objects above the Amazon rainforest. Some propose that these sightings are evidence of visitations, suggesting that advanced beings from other planets may be observing or studying Earth's unique ecosystems, similar to what we are doing on Mars. Others suggest that these sightings could be linked to secret military aircraft or experimental technology being tested in the region, saying that the Amazon rainforest would be a perfect place to do this, as it has a very low population and the dense forest works as a natural shield, making it difficult to see what's going on. Additionally, natural explanations such as atmospheric phenomena or misidentifications of known objects cannot be ruled out. The presence of these sightings in the Amazon rainforest raises intriguing questions about the nature of these phenomena and their potential implications. If these sightings are indeed evidence of advanced activity, it would challenge our understanding of the universe and humanity's place within it. Furthermore, exploring these encounters could provide valuable insights into the rainforest's ecological significance and its potential attraction for intelligent beings. Oddly enough, those who live in the Amazon rainforest detail that these objects have been here longer than they have. These mysterious objects in the Amazon rainforest also intersect with indigenous cultures and their mythologies. For many indigenous communities, the presence of unidentified aerial phenomena aligns with their spiritual beliefs and legends of celestial beings. These encounters add a layer of cultural significance and reinforce the deep connection between indigenous peoples and the natural world. Indigenous cultures in the Amazon rainforest possess intricate cosmologies and spiritual beliefs that incorporate a deep reverence for nature and the interconnectedness of all living beings. Their mythologies often feature celestial beings and spiritual entities that inhabit the skies. These cultures view the natural world as alive with spiritual forces and recognize the existence of supernatural beings that can traverse the realms of the cosmos. Indigenous individuals have recounted encounters with luminous objects, peculiar lights, and unexplained aerial phenomena. They often interpret these sightings as interactions with celestial beings, ancestral spirits, or guardians of the rainforest. These encounters are embedded in the collective memory of these communities and shape their understanding of the world. These encounters reaffirm the spiritual bond between indigenous communities and the natural world, reinforcing their role as custodians of the rainforest. Indigenous cultures possess a wealth of traditional knowledge and wisdom passed down through generations that encompasses their relationship with the environment and the unseen forces that govern it. The integration of sightings into indigenous mythologies also underscores the importance of preserving and respecting traditional knowledge. The insights and wisdom gained from these encounters provide invaluable perspectives on the mysteries of the cosmos and the interconnectedness of all life. It is crucial to support and empower indigenous communities, recognizing their unique cultural contributions and safeguarding their traditional knowledge for future generations. Quantifying mysterious aircraft sightings in the Amazon rainforest presents significant challenges. The remote and densely forested terrain hampers data collection efforts, and many encounters go unreported due to limited access to communication infrastructure. Additionally, cultural factors may contribute to underreporting, as indigenous communities often interpret these sightings within their own mythologies and spiritual beliefs. While limited scientific research has been conducted specifically on sightings in the Amazon rainforest, efforts have been made to document and study unexplained aerial phenomena more broadly. Scientific expeditions and interdisciplinary collaborations aim to gather data, analyze eyewitness accounts, and apply scientific methodologies to investigate these sightings in a rigorous and systematic manner. Given the remote and challenging terrain of the Amazon rainforest, scientific investigations into these mysterious sightings can be difficult. However, continued efforts to document and analyze these encounters are crucial for better understanding the nature of these phenomena. Collaboration between researchers, indigenous communities, and scientific institutions could shed light on the causes of these sightings and contribute to our knowledge of the rainforest's biodiversity. The sightings of strange objects above the Amazon rainforest bring an air of mystery to the depths of nature's heart. The accounts and experiences shared by witnesses, along with cultural and scientific perspectives, invite us to contemplate the possibility of advanced encounters and expand our understanding of the unexplained in the awe-inspiring realm of the Amazon rainforest. The discovery of giant skeletons in the United States has long captivated the imagination of people around the world. Tales of enormous humanoid remains, often referred to as giant skeletons, have fueled speculation about a hidden chapter of human history. According to various sources such as newspaper articles, scientific journals, historical documents and photographs, over the course of 2 centuries in North America, more than 1,000 skeletal remains of individuals who measured at least 7 feet in height have been discovered. These accounts reach from the east to west coasts of the United States and describe anomalies such as skulls with elongated shapes, excessive teeth, and jawbones that dwarfed the finder's face. The information that has been amassed on these discoveries is well documented. During the 1800s, it was reported that enormous skeletal remains were found in the burial mounds of North America. According to the reports, the skeletons were described as having a length of 7 to 8 feet, while some purported discoveries reaching 9 to 11 feet. Additionally, these skeletons were noted to have enormous skulls and lower jawbones. Early records from local historians frequently documented these remains, as evident in the following excerpt from Cass County, Michigan. Dr. Bonine had discovered a 13-feet-high mound with a diameter of the base approximately 50 feet and unusual skeletons. According to Dr. Bonine, one of the male skeletons, currently in his possession, had a well-preserved large femur, which indicates that the owner was likely 7 feet tall or more. Antiquarian scholars have documented the anthropology of ancient tall people found in prehistoric mounds. An article from the American Antiquarian, Volume 2, Number 1, provides an account from Chillicothe, Illinois. It is a commonly known fact that during the 19th and early 20th centuries, newspapers would often report on the discovery of large-scale skeletons found across the United States. An article from the News Herald on January 3, 1895, based in Portsmouth, Ohio, is a prime example of this trend. It's reported that bridge carpenters discovered an enormous skeleton while conducting excavation work. The finding occurred near Portsmouth, about 3 miles east of the area. The skeleton measured an astounding 7 feet and 4 inches in size. During the 1880s, the Eastern Mound Division of the Smithsonian Institute found many huge skeletons while destroying Native American burial mounds in North America. The Bureau of Ethnology's 12th annual report provides evidence of various large skeletons that were discovered by Smithsonian agents. Near the original surface of the mound, lying at full length upon its back, was one of the largest skeletons discovered by the Bureau agents. The length as proved by actual measurement being between 7 and 8 feet. Located at the heart of Mound 11 and buried approximately 3 feet deep is a vault measuring 8 feet in length and 3 feet in width. Within this vault was discovered a complete human skeleton measuring an impressive 7 feet in length. This particular specimen's height was determined to be roughly 7.5 feet when it was alive. Researchers arrived at this estimation based on the measurement distance between the skull base and toe bones, which came out to be about 7 feet 3 inches. During the 1900s, archaeologists took a renewed interest in ancient giants. With the help of Charles Snow, William S. Webb from the University of Kentucky was able to confirm that the distinct skeletal characteristics observed by previous sources belonged to the Adena mound building culture. Webb and Snow's study of Adena's anthropology was documented in 2 volumes of the Adena people. The first volume was published in 1945, and the second was co-written with Raymond S. Beebe and published in 1957. The forehead is typically highly noticeable and is situated beneath quite prominent brow ridges. The size of the jawbone's distinctive bulge is moderately projected. Generally, cheekbones are both large and noticeably prominent, extending forward and to the side. This information comes from a publication by Webb, Snow and Beebe in 1957. Moreover, in their analysis, Webb, Snow and Beebe observed a distinct bony chin structure, which is characterized by bilateral prominences leading to an extensive chin width. Although today known as the Maryland Science Center, one of the oldest scientific institutions of the United States, dating all the way back to 1797, the Maryland Science Center used to go by the name of the Maryland Academy of Sciences several decades ago. Dated back to the 25th of November, back in 1897, the Maryland Academy of Sciences was reported to have been in the possession of several skeletons of a lost Native American tribe of giants. Though the skeletons were not nearly as tall as many of the other claimed findings of previous years, the Academy of Sciences claimed that their collection featured 3 full skeletons of 7-foot-tall Native American giants believed to have been a part of an entire tribe of gigantic native people.
The red-headed giants of Lovelock Cave. The next Native American legend we will be discussing surrounds the historical existence of cannibals in a small cave on the outskirts of Humboldt Sink, Nevada. The place is called Lovelock Cave and is about 150 feet long. The legend claims that the cave was once inhabited by 10 feet tall and red-haired giants who harmed and ate humans from the neighboring communities. The giants, known as Saqsaywaman, were deeply feared by the Paiute Indians. The Paiute Indians eliminated the giants by trapping them inside the caves and funneling smoke inside until they passed away. Lovelock Cave, in which they lived, has since been a huge archaeological site and home to the discovery of over 10,000 artifacts. The University of California and its anthropologists went in and discovered tons of unique artifacts, like baskets, finely crafted sage brushes, knives, and other tools. They also found human bones, some of which were missing the marrow that had been dug out. This increased the truth of cannibalistic speculations and that the humans living within the cave ate other humans. Researchers claimed that most of the human bones remained untouched, and the bones that were missing marrow and sported knife marks might have been done out of necessity or famine and not a regular diet. The anthropologist Llewellyn L. Loud was in charge of the Lovelock Cave expeditions when he and his team discovered nearly 10,000 different artifacts. It took him many years of research and work before he could completely publish a full report of the findings. That being said, none of his findings directly proved the existence of 10 feet tall beings, and any human bones found were of the regular size for the time period. The cave was not easy to explore as it suffered from a collapse in roughly the year 440 BC, which led to the destruction of numerous access points. This likely influenced the residents of the cave to leave and find a home elsewhere. The new residents of the cave were mainly bats that, over time, caused a large pile-up of guano to cover the ground and all the artifacts. The cave has since been the site of many expeditions from various facilities and research centers, but none have yet to uncover any scientific proof of 10 feet tall giants.
Saqsaywaman in Peru. The word Saqsaywaman comes from the Quechua language, translates roughly to royal eagle, or more literally, the place where the hawk was satiated. It is thought that it gained this name due to the high presence of these birds in the area where the structure was built. Saqsaywaman is an architectural complex in the city of Cusco, Peru. The building was erected by the Incas in the 15th century under the 9th Incan leader, Pachacuti Inca Yupanqui, and his successors. A project as massive as this necessitated the hard work of at least 20,000 labourers, which were divided by the thousands and given jobs such as quarrying duties, digging trenches, and laying the foundations of this huge monument. This fortress is the largest built by the Incas. It was constructed on an elevated rocky head facing the northern marshy ground outside the Incan capital, Cusco. The Incas were known as master stonemasons, and their abilities are demonstrated wonderfully in this building. It was built using dry stone walls and boulders that were fit tightly together using mortar. Although they did not use anything to cement the stones together, their mechanics ensured that the building stood strong and stable. The huge blocks of stone making up the temple were shaped using nothing but harder rocks and bronze tools. Based on the marks left on these stones, researchers believe they were mostly pounded into shape rather than being cut. The blocks must have been moved around using ropes, levers, poles, and earth-made ramps. This is evident due to the indentations that remained on the stones even after they were fit into place in the building. It was built to withstand earthquakes and the damage from such natural disasters through the interlocking of the blocks and sloped walls, which maximized protection. It is definitely apparent that this proved to be successful, as the building has survived over 500 years of earthquakes. The area also contains a variety of buildings, such as residential spaces, towers, holy places, warehouses, roadways, and aqueducts. The positioning and placing of the area is similar to other Incan locations, like the Machu Picchu. It stands as a testament to the Incas' skills in architecture and their ability to create a structure that worked in harmony with the natural landscape of the place. It is simply incredible to see the remains of history and the magnificent skills and abilities of those who lived before us, and to be able to witness the architectural pursuits that were accomplished without the use of modern technology and resources.
Tesla want to make humanoid robots. A robot uprising is part of many sci-fi and dystopia classics, though with the robots that are being developed, from Alexa to more complex AI, some are worried that it will not be long before this terrifying trope is part of our lives. This is not helped by the 2021 announcement that Tesla is working on a TeslaBot, a humanoid robot that Elon Musk claims could have a working prototype by 2022. Musk has said that the TeslaBot will take care of chores and jobs that us humans just are not fans of. As he continued to describe the robot, he said the AI technology that goes into the TeslaBot will be the same used in the cars, though this humanoid will be decked out with an intricate camera setup to keep an eye on what is going on in the world. A frankly, quite unnerving design is going to be about 1.7 meters tall.
Musk has said that the robot is intended to be friendly. While in the world of AI, there may not be definite answers nor a great deal of certainty, the intended does not fill us with a great deal of reassurance. The purpose of the robots is to take off of our hands the jobs that we just do not want to do. These were described by Musk as those that are dangerous, repetitive, and boring. The idea is that any physical work will eventually become optional, thanks to the Tesla bot. A function that looks as though it could be featured is the ability for the robot to understand simple instructions, such as picking up groceries for you. Musk hopes that the Tesla bot could even fill the labor gap, though others are concerned about jobs being taken away from humans in need of work. Of course, the Tesla cars themselves have not come without criticism, with many questioning the capabilities of the self-driving features, following the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration claiming to have identified 11 crashes being the fault of the Tesla cars hitting emergency services vehicles that were parked in the road. One incident resulted in a fatality and in total 17 injuries. Despite these incidents, Musk maintains his view that the Tesla self-driving system is safer than humans on the road. Whatever your personal opinion is, I am sure you can understand the concerns of those wary about the Tesla AI in cars, never mind the same system being used to create humanoids allegedly capable of taking jobs over for us. The world of AI is controversial as it is, though the work of Tesla and Elon Musk himself has caused an even greater divide, with some cheering on the scientific advancements and others wary of the economic and social implications.
In the vast expanse of space, the moon has always captivated the human imagination. Among the many lunar mysteries, the discovery of a peculiar tower on the far side of the moon by a Soviet spacecraft stands out. In July 1965, the Soviet spacecraft Zond 3 embarked on a historic journey, becoming the first mission to capture images of the far side of the moon. Zond 3 successfully transmitted photographs, revealing previously unseen terrain on the lunar surface. However, among the images, one stood out, an intriguing tower-like structure perched on the moon's far side. The tower discovered by Zond 3 remains a topic of speculation and debate. The photographs captured a large tower-like formation rising from the lunar surface. Its distinctive shape and apparent structure have ignited curiosity and inspired countless theories about its origins and purpose. The enigmatic tower on the far side of the moon has generated various theories and speculations. Zond 3 was meant to reach Mars, and photographing the far side of the moon was a secondary objective for the spacecraft. Scientists equipped the Zond 3 with extremely useful technologies, equipping the spacecraft with 2 cameras, infrared and ultraviolet spectrometers, a magnetometer, a cosmic ray detector, a solar particle detector, and a meteoroid detector. Zond 3 made its way to the moon 33 hours after being launched on July 18, 1965. Just as it passed the far side of the moon, its cameras started exploring the far side of Earth's satellite, focusing on the 30% that its predecessor, Lunar 3, had missed, taking one picture every 2 minutes and 15 seconds for a total period of 1 hour and 8 minutes. After a period of 9 days from taking the images, Zond 3 transmitted these images back to the Soviet operators on Earth. These images were the first of their kind, and helped scientists discover several geological formations present on the far side of the moon. However, one of these images particularly intrigued the researchers and those interested in the unknown. On the far side of the moon, a puzzling tower-like structure is visible in one of the images taken. The structure stands out as there is no other similar formation in its vicinity. The image is believed by researchers to be compelling proof for their theory of possible advanced structures on Earth's moon. As of right now, very little information has been released about the structure. Interestingly enough, this isn't the first time that mysterious monoliths have been found throughout our solar system, and it's for this reason that researchers have suggested that they could be evidence of advanced life. Some propose natural explanations, suggesting that the formation may be a result of geological processes or impact crater remnants. Despite the intrigue, many scientists approach the tower with skepticism. They argue that the tower-like appearance may be an illusion caused by lighting conditions, shadows, or pixelation in the Zond 3 images. They emphasize the need for further exploration and comprehensive data to provide a clearer understanding of the lunar terrain. The discovery of the tower on the far side of the Moon has fueled the ongoing quest for knowledge about our celestial neighbor. As space exploration continues to advance, upcoming missions aim to uncover more secrets hidden within the Moon's unexplored regions. These missions, equipped with advanced technology and instruments, hold the potential to provide more detailed observations and insights into the lunar mysteries.
Dr. Gordon Gallup says alien life may be too scared of dangerous humans. The idea that we are not alone in the universe has paved the way for some of the best science fiction films and fueled many conspiracy theories. The odds are that there must be life out there, perhaps more advanced than us. So, if that is the case, why haven't these aliens reached out? Dr. Gordon Gallup, a biopsychologist, has suggested that the existence of alien life is not implausible, but that the reason we have not heard from the alternate life forms out there is that they could be afraid of us, the dangerous and violent humans. Dr. Gordon Gallup, who works at the University of Albany, presents the view that the awful acts us humans take out against one another, not to mention our planet, might be keeping aliens at bay. If they can see what we are like as a species, why would they want to reveal their presence? Gallup calls us humans, quote, violent and dangerous, citing our many and constant conflicts as a reason to be too afraid to let us discover them. He says, if there is intelligent life elsewhere, they may view humans as extremely dangerous. We pose too great a risk and they do not want to be discovered. The point Gallup makes was published in the Journal of Astrobiology, and he is not sugarcoating our awful impact on the world. He was clear that the impact of the planet and our own societies are far too destructive to appeal to extraterrestrial guests. His argument is that if there is intelligent life out there, they certainly are not likely to visit Earth. Gallup's idea that we are scaring aliens away is a new twist in the warnings we have been given before. Scientists, most notably the late great astrophysicist Stephen Hawking, famously had concerns should we ever interact with aliens. He agreed it was likely there was intelligent alien life out there, describing people who claimed we were the only intelligent life form as arrogant. He thought it was us who had a cause for concern, not them. He likened the arrival of aliens on Earth to the arrival of Christopher Columbus first making it to America, which, as we know, had a truly tragic impact upon the indigenous populations already in America. He believes any intelligent life that is far more evolved than us would have little concern in taking over our lands and home for their own gain, quite the opposite view to Gallup. Whether you believe it is us for whom an alien encounter would end badly or for the aliens themselves, both scientists seem to agree that we should not go looking for any alien buddies anytime soon. Scientists document triple star system. Because the ability to peer deeply into space and record accurate measurements is a new technological advancement, there have not been very many instances where scientists have been able to track the progress of a celestial body across more than a few decades. Recently, a team was able to document the history of a triple star system called HS Hydra across 125 years, which enabled them to come up with enough of a comprehensive history that they were able to predict the likely future of the system. The team was able to accomplish this by looking at the first ever observations of HS Hydra, which were recorded all the way back in 1893, when all that would have been visible was the twinkling of yet another star in the night sky. As technology advanced and we were able to obtain more detail about this specific twinkling star, it became very evident that this was a dynamic system with more than a few surprises in store. And now, scientists hope to be able to further unravel the mysteries of this system by employing NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite, which has previously been used to hunt for alien worlds but will now be turned towards the discovery of hidden mysteries within binary star systems and the three-star system HS Hydra. But what makes HS Hydra so special and mysterious? For starters, it stands out from typical dynamic binary star systems due to the simple fact that, in 2012, Astronomers observing the well-studied system with fresh eyes noticed that it was composed of 3 stars instead of 2, and these stars blink in and out as eclipses viewable from Earth. Long before this fascinating fact was known, early astronomers were recording and immortalizing HS Hydra. In fact, the first images of it were taken in 1893 and had to be captured on glass plates that were changed out in the dark of night. From that point on, HS Hydra was frequently documented using both glass plate photography and logbook entries, recording original observations from early astronomers. Today, even without including the glass plates, whose images have been compromised over time, over 1,000 images and observations remain to include within the timeline of this system. The history is so complete that researchers working on the project even described it as a time machine telescope looking back into the past. Because of this amazing history that researchers and scientists were able to compile, we now have a thorough understanding of the history of HS Hydra, which will hopefully allow us to peer into the future of the 3-star system using the observations of TESS. Never has such complete history been able to be observed, and astronomers are thrilled about the possibilities for research and knowledge that might lie within the mysteries of this system. Nearly 1,000 mysterious strands revealed in Milky Way's center. One of the most exciting things about space is that we know we cannot see everything that lies beyond our atmosphere. This means that every time a new technological advancement is made in telescope, satellite or imaging technology, we get to learn about and discover a bit more of the space around us. 4 decades ago, Farhad Yousafzadeh, a researcher at Northwestern University, was able to utilize radio wavelength observations to capture stunning images of the mysterious center of the Milky Way that revealed strange cosmic ray electrons organized in magnetic one-dimensional strands stretching up to 150 light-years long. In the intervening decades, very little progress has been made in the discovery of what exactly these strands do and how they could have ended up there. A recent image taken from SARO's Meerkat telescope has been able to illuminate this mysterious region in a new light at last. Revealed in crisp detail are almost 1,000 strange strands dangling in space, paired or clustered, and spaced fairly regularly in a stacked formation amidst the radio emissions of surrounding cosmic events. Researchers working on the project were able to generate this image, which could very likely revolutionize the way that we view the ambiguous area at the center of the Milky Way by creating a mosaic of images taken from the Meerkat telescope at 20 different locations, all aiming towards the center. This technique generated a panoramic image with the background removed that left only a startlingly clear view of the strands, which will allow for an amazing amount of further study as scientists attempt to unravel the mysteries surrounding these strange strands at the center of the Milky Way. But how do they hope to accomplish such a monumental task? For starters, the team of researchers is focused on gathering as much statistical data as possible about the strands, which they currently believe to be related to earlier activity of the supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way, to detect any key variations among the particles, as well as to get a general idea of their properties. Additionally, they want to get a better understanding of the magnetic fields and cosmic rays surrounding the strands, which indicate that many of them likely do not share the same origin. To do this, each individual filament must first be carefully identified and catalogued. Another important element of the image is the fact that researchers will now be able to clearly observe the strands along with the passage of time and will be able to determine whether the strange filaments are constant or evolving. Although it seems that this image created more questions than answers, it acted as a door to amazing knowledge regarding the mysteries that lie at the center of the Milky Way, and hopefully many more answers will be revealed through the course of time.
Google Earth, a popular online mapping platform, has revolutionized the way we explore our planet. Beyond its utility in mapping cities and landmarks, Google Earth has inadvertently become a tool for enthusiasts and researchers to search for unexplained aerial phenomena. This mysterious triangular-shaped object was found by someone who was scanning Google Earth, and the coordinates bring you to San Antonio, New Mexico, interestingly near the Holloman Air Force Base. Oddly enough, When you try to search for these coordinates, they no longer exist, and this has caused some researchers to suggest that these types of images are removed on purpose. Google Earth's vast database of satellite imagery allows users to zoom in on locations worldwide, providing a unique perspective on Earth's surface. Enthusiasts and researchers have eagerly employed this tool to scour the globe for unusual aerial anomalies. By examining high-resolution images, they aim to identify and document potential mysterious sightings. The image in question is from 2013, but as mentioned, despite several attempts to locate it again using the updated version of the software, it is no longer available. However, the sighting was submitted to the Mutual UFO Network, so researchers have a data log from when the object was first discovered. Oddly enough, there was a strange circle marking etched into the ground right next to the triangular object, leading some to suggest that the aircraft may have created these strange patterns. Unidentified objects have fascinated and perplexed people for decades, and in recent years, more and more people are coming forward with their encounters, helping to bring this topic into the mainstream media. For this reason, objects such as this one are being seen by more people. Among the various shapes and forms reported, one of the most intriguing and frequently observed is the mysterious black triangle. Triangle-shaped objects, also known as black triangles, are characterized by their distinct shape, resembling an equilateral or isosceles triangle. Witnesses describe these objects as immense in size, with each side measuring hundreds of feet. They often exhibit a slow and silent movement, defying conventional aircraft capabilities. The most notable feature reported is the presence of lights on each corner of the craft, emitting a soft, steady glow. These black triangles have been reported worldwide, sparking intense interest among researchers and enthusiasts. One notable incident occurred in Belgium during the late 1980s. Over a period of several months, thousands of witnesses, including police officers and military personnel, reported observing large, low-flying, triangle-shaped craft. The Belgian wave, as it became known, captured international attention and remains one of the most well-documented cases in history. Similar sightings have occurred in various countries, including the United States, where reports of black triangles have surfaced from different regions. Witnesses describe the objects hovering silently and performing intricate maneuvers beyond the capabilities of known aircraft. These sightings often occur at night, with witnesses reporting mesmerizing lights on the underbelly of the craft. Numerous theories have been proposed to explain the origin and nature of these black triangles, with one prevailing theory being that these objects could be advanced military aircraft, part of a classified project employing advanced stealth technology. This theory posits that governments are testing new aerial platforms with enhanced maneuverability and surveillance capabilities. Another theory speculates that black triangles could be advanced in nature. Proponents argue that the sheer size, silent propulsion, and unusual flight patterns suggest a technology far beyond our current understanding. Some theorize that these crafts may be piloted by highly advanced civilizations conducting surveillance or scientific exploration, while others suggest that they are drones that have been sent here by other planets, similar to what we've done on Mars. This theory could explain how these objects are able to fly at the speeds they do, with believers in this theory saying that anything biological inside would likely be taken out by the force that's created, and the idea that they are probes would make more sense. A third theory posits that black triangles may be the result of a covert black project developed by a powerful group or organization. According to this theory, these organizations possess advanced technologies that have been kept secret from the public. They speculate that the craft's appearance and behavior could be the result of revolutionary propulsion systems and energy sources. The United States has been a hotbed for triangle sightings, with reports spanning several decades. Numerous witness accounts, including those from credible sources such as pilots, military personnel, and law enforcement officers, add weight to the phenomenon's legitimacy. Sightings often occur in various regions, with notable clusters reported in areas such as the Hudson Valley in New York, the Phoenix Lights incident in Arizona, and the Illinois Triangle sighting. Pilots have reported encountering these triangles, but note that our fastest jets don't have the ability to keep up with them. Black triangle-shaped aircrafts continue to fascinate and intrigue both researchers and the general public. With numerous documented sightings, including those from credible witnesses such as military personnel and law enforcement officers, these objects remain an enigma. The characteristics, reported sightings, and theories surrounding these black triangles fuel ongoing discussions and investigations into their nature and origin, while the exact explanation for these sightings remains elusive. The prevalence of black triangle reports suggests that there is something significant happening in our skies. Whether the objects are advanced military aircraft, extraterrestrial in origin, or the result of covert black projects, their existence challenges our understanding of conventional aviation and raises profound questions about our place in the universe. Further research, collaboration, and scientific inquiry are crucial to unraveling the mysteries surrounding these aircrafts. The exploration of these unexplained phenomena invites us to embrace curiosity, expand our knowledge, and remain open to the possibility of extraordinary discoveries. Just recently, NASA announced that they are researching these aircraft, but note that further evidence is needed for us to come to a conclusive answer on what these objects are. In the pursuit of understanding, we must continue to gather and analyze data, encourage credible eyewitness testimonies, and foster an environment where the study of mysterious aircrafts can thrive. A resident in Texas reported seeing a mysterious object in the sky. The eyewitness submitted a report to the Mutual UFO Network, an organization that investigates mysterious aircrafts, and reported that as the sun was setting, they captured some images of patterns that had formed in the clouds. They reported that to ensure the quality of their images, they snapped 3 shots at once. However, upon reviewing the photos, they were unaware of what they had captured, noting that in the background, a strange black object could be seen close to the clouds. They showed the mysterious object to their wife, but both of them couldn't agree on what this object was, further adding that there wasn't anything in the area at the time the image was taken. The resident explained that the absence of trees where he lives means that there are no birds around, and caused him to rule out the possibility that this was an animal. The eyewitness had said that they are looking for an answer as to what this object could be. Interestingly enough, other people came forward and said that they had seen the same thing, and detailed that the object could be seen breaking through the clouds. One resident by the name of Mary Thompson had an extraordinary encounter with an object that looked nearly identical to this one. Mary described that as she was walking her dog, she couldn't help but notice the sky above. High above, amidst the backdrop of the fading daylight, she spotted an unusual object moving through the sky. It was a large black object, silently gliding across the horizon. Mary watched the enigmatic craft, captivated by its otherworldly presence. She stood there in awe, unable to comprehend what she was witnessing, noting that the object didn't match anything that she had seen before. The mysterious black object defied all conventional understanding, and she detailed that it moved with such grace and precision. Mary's mind raced with questions, trying to rationalize the inexplicable sight before her eyes. She detailed that she tried to take a photograph of the mysterious object, but noted that her phone's camera wasn't up to the task, and the resulting images were too blurry to make out anything. As Mary continued to watch the mysterious craft, a sense of excitement and curiosity overwhelmed her. After seeing these photographs, she reported that it reminded her of the object that she had seen, and said that the black object she witnessed was the same shape as this one. She also detailed that the object appeared to be rotating. The topic of mysterious aircrafts above Texas has captivated the public's imagination for decades, leading to a surge in reported sightings and encounters, and causing eyewitnesses to come forward with their encounters. While the nature and origin of these unidentified objects above Texas remain a subject of debate, the number of reported sightings in the United States is quite substantial, and has led to researchers into the unknown to say that these sightings and encounters should be taken more seriously. The United States, with its vast territory and diverse population, has been a hotspot for unidentified sightings. Over the years, numerous individuals from all walks of life have come forward to share their experiences, ranging from strange lights in the sky to encounters with mysterious craft. And interestingly, due to the amount of encounters that have been reported, it's led to astronauts and military personnel to come forward with their sightings, which many have said adds credibility to these claims. The exact number of reported sightings in the United States varies from year to year. Organizations that research these aircrafts have provided valuable data for analysis and investigation. According to available records, thousands of sightings are reported in the United States annually, and in some years, the numbers reach into the tens of thousands, indicating a significant interest and ongoing fascination with the phenomenon. It is important to note that not all reported sightings can be classified as genuine encounters. Many sightings turn out to have conventional explanations, such as misidentified aircraft, weather phenomena, or even hoaxes. However, a significant percentage of cases remain unexplained, leaving room for speculation and further investigation. Some of the most commonly reported sightings include objects exhibiting unusual flight patterns, high speeds, or abrupt changes in direction. Witnesses often describe seeing bright lights, saucer-shaped craft, or triangular formations in the sky. Some reports even describe close encounters with beings or entities associated with these unidentified objects. The Lone Star State of Texas, with its vast landscapes and diverse population, has been a hotspot for sightings and encounters. Over the years, numerous reports have emerged from various regions, captivating the imagination of residents and sparking curiosity among enthusiasts. One of the most famous incidents in Texas occurred in 1957 in the small town of Levelland. Multiple witnesses reported seeing a large, egg-shaped object with bright lights that allegedly caused their vehicles to stall or malfunction. The incident gained significant media attention, drawing the interest of researchers and investigators from around the country. In addition to the Levelland incident, Texas has been the site of numerous other reported sightings. Witnesses have described a wide range of phenomena, including sightings of disc-shaped objects, triangular craft, and mysterious lights in the night sky. Over the years, numerous residents reported seeing a massive, silent object with flashing lights moving at high speeds. The incident gained national attention and prompted investigations by both local authorities and researchers. Reports of sightings in Texas often involve witnesses from different backgrounds, including military personnel, law enforcement officers, and everyday citizens. Many sightings occur in rural areas where the night sky is free from light pollution, allowing for clearer observations of unusual aerial phenomena. The Gulf Coast region of Texas has also seen its fair share of sightings. The proximity to the Gulf of Mexico and the area's extensive waterways have led to reports of unidentified objects emerging from or descending into the water. Witnesses have described bright lights or strange craft performing unusual maneuvers in the sky before disappearing without a trace. The advent of modern technology and the widespread use of smartphones have made it easier than ever for individuals to document and share their sightings. Photos and videos captured by eyewitnesses can provide valuable visual evidence, although their authenticity and reliability must be carefully evaluated. While the number of reported sightings is significant, it is important to consider that not all sightings are reported. Many witnesses choose not to come forward due to fear of ridicule or skepticism. Therefore, the actual number of encounters may be much higher than the reported figures. According to a reputable lawyer who is involved in bringing whistleblowers to Congress, the US military allegedly retrieved a crashed, unidentified object that had the capability to distort space-time and was larger internally than it appeared externally. Daniel Sheehan claims that he was informed about an astonishing story by a knowledgeable source who purportedly participated in a covert program dedicated to recovering crashed advanced spacecraft. This individual has allegedly briefed the staff of the Senate Intelligence Committee. The attorney's account is the most recent addition to a series of astounding assertions this week about unidentified objects in the possession of the government. This sequence began with a public interview featuring David Grush, a former high-ranking officer in Air Force intelligence, who claimed that the US government has multiple crashed vehicles of advanced origin. The Department of Defense has come forward and said that they have not found any credible evidence to substantiate the claims made. Sheehan has been assisting individuals like Grush in coming forward to Congress in an effort to reveal what he perceives as a government lie to hide encounters with beings from outer space. The lawyer informed news outlets that he was told about a particular incident of recovery by someone who claimed to have insider knowledge of a crash retrieval program. This incident involved a partially buried 30-foot saucer with extraordinary characteristics. According to Sheehan, they made an attempt to attach a bulldozer to the object in order to remove it. Surprisingly, when they pulled, the object came out in a triangular shape, resembling a piece of pie, almost as if it was intentionally designed that way. As soon as it became dislodged by a few feet, they promptly halted their actions. Their intention was to avoid compromising the structural soundness of the apparatus. During the exploration, an individual entered the structure and was astounded by its vastness, which was comparable to that of a football stadium. The individual experienced feelings of unease and nausea due to the disorienting nature of the immense interior space. The dimensions of the object were comparable to that of a football stadium, but its external diameter measured only around 30 feet. According to Sheehan, the presence of warped dimensions extends beyond just space around the spacecraft. According to knowledgeable physicists, it is theoretically possible to manipulate space-time around an advanced spacecraft in order to counteract the force of gravity. However, Sheehan refused to provide additional information, such as the specific location and date of the incident, and stated that he was unable to present evidence to substantiate the allegations. The absence of specific information, records, and visuals is causing skeptics to disregard the accounts of an advanced spacecraft stored within covert government initiatives, considering them as mere fictional narratives. Military intelligence experts who have expressed their endorsement for Grush since he made his public revelation emphasize that he has exposed himself to significant danger if he is being untruthful, as all his assertions have been formally submitted to the Inspector Generals of the Department of Defense and the intelligence community under the threat of legal consequences for perjury. According to knowledgeable sources in the intelligence community, there is credible and verifiable evidence suggesting that the government or military contractors possess a minimum of 12 unidentified objects. According to Public's report, they sourced information from individuals who also provided information to Grush during the briefing. According to an individual claiming to be a whistleblower, it is reported that every 5 years, there are 1 or 2 unidentified crafts that are either recovered from landings, captured, or involved in crashes. The whistleblower claims knowledge of approximately 12 to 15 such crafts. According to a defense contractor who disclosed the information to the public, there were multiple distinct forms and structures observed. Out of the total, 6 were found to be in good condition, while the remaining 6 were not. There were instances where the unidentified aerial vehicles landed, but their occupants were not present upon inspection. Notably, individuals in high-ranking positions, including generals, have had physical contact with these vehicles, and there is no reason to doubt their credibility. The belief in government theories concerning advanced life is not a new phenomenon. While we have no definitive proof that the US government is hiding knowledge of alien life, several plausible theories attempt to justify why they might do so if such knowledge was within their grasp. Firstly, one must consider the potential for mass panic and societal unrest. The knowledge of intelligent extraterrestrial life could have profound implications on worldviews, religions, and fundamental human beliefs. For centuries, humans have regarded themselves as the center of life and intelligence in the universe. An abrupt revelation that we are not alone, and potentially not even the most advanced civilization, could cause substantial unrest, fear, and even chaos. This potential disruption of societal norms and peace may be deemed too risky by the government, leading them to maintain secrecy. Secondly, there may be national security concerns associated with the disclosure of extraterrestrial existence. If the US government were in possession of alien technology, or was engaged in communication or cooperation with advanced beings, publicizing this information could risk national security. Other nations may seek to obtain this technology or knowledge, leading to a new kind of arms race or heightened global tension. Furthermore, the revelation that the government is incapable of defending its citizens against technologically superior beings could create fear and undermine the government's authority. Thirdly, the government might be worried about the effect of such a revelation on the economy. The announcement of advanced life could disrupt markets, causing economic instability. The existence of intelligent advanced life would undoubtedly be one of the most profound discoveries in human history. While its immediate impact on fields such as science and philosophy is apparent, It also poses intriguing implications for the realm of religion. Religion, fundamentally, is a human endeavor to comprehend the nature of existence, our place within the cosmos, and the potential existence of a divine entity or entities. The discovery of advanced life would challenge and expand these interpretations in significant ways, forcing us to reassess our understanding of divinity, creation, and the purpose of human life. Firstly, the impact on religions would largely depend on their doctrinal flexibility. Many religions have a geocentric focus, with humanity considered the pinnacle of creation. Advanced extraterrestrial life forms could disrupt these beliefs, questioning our central place in the cosmos. However, religions with a more fluid interpretation of their texts and an openness to reinterpretation might adapt more easily. Secondly, the discovery could promote a more universal understanding of spirituality and the divine. Instead of perceiving God or gods as exclusive to humanity, the presence of other intelligent life might instigate a more inclusive, cosmic interpretation of divinity. This shared divine experience might contribute to a sense of unity among intelligent species across the cosmos, birthing a form of universal religion or spirituality. Moreover, the discovery might motivate religious communities to revisit, reinterpret, and renew their doctrines. Texts that refer to heavens, other worlds, or beings from the sky might be interpreted in light of extraterrestrial existence. This could result in a broadening of religious thought, spawning new theological studies and philosophies. However, it's also possible that the discovery of advanced extraterrestrial life might catalyze a crisis of faith for some believers. Individuals might question their religious convictions, particularly if their beliefs are rigidly anthropocentric, or if they perceive the existence of advanced life as incompatible with their religious texts or doctrines. Simultaneously, new religious movements might emerge, with extraterrestrials incorporated into or even central to their beliefs. History shows that significant events or discoveries often give rise to new spiritual interpretations and religious groups. As of right now, the discovery of advanced life would pose significant implications for religion, prompting both challenges and opportunities for spiritual growth and understanding. It would provoke a deep, collective introspection about our beliefs, our place in the universe, and the nature of the divine. It is important, however, to recognize that these outcomes are largely speculative and would depend on the nature of the discovery, the characteristics of the advanced beings, and the global religious landscape at the time of the revelation. Elon Musk just said the following on social media. "I often wonder where consciousness starts, as we progress from 1 cell to 35 trillion cells. If the standard model is correct, then quarks and leptons become conscious no later than 13.8 billion years from the start, assuming there are no sentient aliens. For those who don't know what this means, the inquiry into the origins and emergence of scientists are actively exploring the idea of extraterrestrial life, but as of now, there is no definitive proof of the existence of advanced civilizations. However, considering the immense expanse of the universe, it is conceivable that sentient beings might exist. The question of advanced life has captivated humanity for centuries, fueling scientific inquiries, popular culture, and philosophical debates. While the existence of advanced beings remains unconfirmed, scientists and researchers have theorized the likelihood of their existence based on scientific knowledge and probabilities. One fundamental factor that increases the likelihood of advanced life is the sheer size and abundance of celestial bodies in the universe. Current estimates suggest there are approximately 2 trillion galaxies, each housing millions to billions of stars. Many of these stars are likely to have orbiting planets. The Kepler Space Telescope's data suggests that there could be as many as 40 billion Earth-sized planets orbiting in the habitable zones of sun-like stars and red dwarfs in the Milky Way alone. The concept of the habitable zone, or Goldilocks zone, where conditions are just right, not too hot, not too cold, for liquid water to exist, significantly narrows down potential locations for life as we understand it. Water is a fundamental prerequisite for life on Earth, and its presence in other parts of the universe increases the probability of life existing elsewhere. Moreover, the discovery of extremophiles on Earth, organisms that thrive in conditions previously thought to be inhospitable, such as deep-sea hydrothermal vents, or highly acidic or radioactive environments expands our understanding of where life could potentially exist. This suggests that life might be more adaptable and versatile than previously assumed, increasing the likelihood that it could take root in various corners of the universe. In addition, the field of astrobiology investigates the origins and possibilities of life in the universe. Key findings, such as the discovery of organic molecules, the building blocks of life, in comets, asteroids, and on Mars, provide tantalizing hints that the ingredients for life are widespread throughout the cosmos. On the other hand, despite these encouraging factors, we must consider the Fermi paradox, proposed by physicist Enrico Fermi. Given the high probability of extraterrestrial life, the paradox questions why we have yet to encounter any clear evidence or signals from such civilizations. Possible solutions range from the limitations of our current technology and the vastness of space-time distances to the notion that advanced civilizations might self-destruct or exist in ways we cannot fathom. The vastness of the cosmos has fascinated humanity for centuries, inspiring us to ponder the existence of other intelligent beings in the universe. Are we alone, or are there advanced civilizations flourishing in distant corners of the cosmos? While definitive answers remain elusive, the growing body of scientific knowledge and the tantalizing possibilities offered by the Drake equation suggest that advanced civilizations could indeed exist beyond our planet. One influential framework in the study of advanced civilizations is the Drake equation, proposed by astrophysicist Frank Drake in 1961. This equation attempts to estimate the number of technologically advanced civilizations in our galaxy by considering factors such as the rate of star formation, the fraction of stars with planets, the likelihood of life emerging on suitable planets, and the probability of intelligent life evolving. While the values assigned to these factors remain speculative, the Drake equation stimulates a broader discussion about the existence of advanced civilizations in the cosmos. Astrobiology has made significant strides in recent decades, unveiling the remarkable potential for life beyond Earth. The discovery of exoplanets within the habitable zone of their respective star systems, where conditions may support liquid water, and consequently, life as we know it, ignites hope for advanced civilizations. The sheer number of exoplanets detected so far suggests that the universe may harbor a plethora of habitable worlds, increasing the chances of advanced life forms emerging and thriving. As we gaze at the night sky, we are essentially peering into the past, as light from distant stars and galaxies takes millions or even billions of years to reach us. This concept of cosmic timescales is crucial when considering advanced civilizations. While human civilization has flourished for a mere fraction of the Earth's history, other civilizations may have arisen and advanced long before us. The vastness of the cosmos and the potential for civilizations to evolve over millions or billions of years imply the possibility of highly advanced extraterrestrial societies existing in the universe. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence actively seeks signals or evidence of intelligent life beyond Earth. Through radio telescopes and other advanced technologies, scientists scan the cosmos, listening for potential communications from distant civilizations. The absence of conclusive evidence thus far does not discount the existence of advanced civilizations, but rather highlights the vastness of space and the challenges associated with interstellar communication. It is conceivable that other civilizations may have developed alternative means of communication that we have yet to comprehend. The existence of advanced civilizations raises important ethical and technological considerations. As our own technological advancements progress, we face ethical dilemmas and questions about the potential impact on our society and environment. Similarly, advanced civilizations may have encountered similar challenges or even found solutions to mitigate them. Understanding how other civilizations have navigated these issues could provide valuable insights for our own civilization's sustainability and development. Elon Musk has long been fascinated with consciousness. One of the greatest mysteries of science and philosophy is consciousness, the state of being aware and capable of thought. Despite considerable advancements in neuroscience and cognitive science, consciousness remains largely enigmatic. The primary challenge in understanding consciousness is its subjective nature. Unlike other scientific phenomena that can be objectively measured or observed, consciousness is intrinsically personal and introspective. It encompasses not just cognition, but the phenomenological experience of being, our sensations, thoughts, emotions, and perceptions that are inherently private. This leads to what philosopher David Chalmers calls the hard problem of consciousness. How does physical activity in the brain give rise to these subjective experiences? Another challenge arises from the sheer complexity and interconnectedness of the brain. The brain consists of approximately 86 billion neurons and an estimated 100 trillion connections, forming a vast network of interactions. While neuroscience has mapped various regions of the brain to specific functions, understanding how these interconnections give rise to conscious experience is a formidable task. This issue is compounded by our limited ability to non-invasively monitor neural activity in real time. Current scientific methodology further complicates the study of consciousness. Traditional science relies on reproducibility and the third-person perspective, observing phenomena from an external point of view. However, consciousness is an inherently first-person experience, and each individual's conscious experience is unique. This discrepancy between the nature of consciousness and the methodologies used to study it creates significant barriers to understanding. Moreover, consciousness is not binary, but exists on a spectrum. It encompasses various states, including wakefulness, sleep, dreaming, and altered states induced by meditation or substances. This fluidity and diversity add layers of complexity to its study. Similarly, defining and quantifying consciousness remains a significant challenge. Various scales and measures have been proposed, but none can fully capture the intricacy of conscious experience. Another aspect of the puzzle is the evolutionary purpose of consciousness. While it's widely accepted that consciousness must confer some evolutionary advantage, identifying that advantage is challenging. Some theorists propose that consciousness allows for advanced problem-solving, social interaction, or the ability to simulate future scenarios. However, these skills are not exclusive to humans, yet we seem to possess a level of consciousness that is qualitatively different from other species. Finally, the integration of consciousness studies across multiple disciplines poses a significant challenge. Consciousness straddles the domains of neuroscience, psychology, philosophy, and even quantum physics, among others. Each of these fields approaches the subject from a different perspective, with distinct methodologies and conceptual frameworks. This diversity, while valuable, makes it difficult to integrate findings into a unified understanding. So, what do you make of Elon Musk's comments? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comments section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.